Oh my goodness. Welcome back. Welcome back to Phil's Recap and Review, Westworld Season 2, Episode 10, The Passenger, the recap, discussion, and review, the Season 2 finale. Westworld's done. We all made it. We all made it down a gigantic path. We opened it up. We looked outside, and we saw a giant fucking door.
What door? Seriously, what fucking door?
I don't fucking know.
Oh my goodness, what a crazy ending to this season of Westworld. Holy crap, I want to get up and dance around and do a weird jig. I am a little under the weather tonight, but I could not stop myself from coming out here tonight to babble about this goddamn episode. Wow. Okay, there's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to get into, to touch upon, to tickle, but I'm not alone tonight. Not only do I have with me the awesome folks in the live motherfucking chat, who's always with us tonight to talk about this episode. We got K-Rich, we got Corey, we got Iconic, we got Grumpy Old Man, we got Big E, we got Steph Snow, we got lots of awesome people in the live motherfucking chat right now ready to talk about this episode. Also wanted to mention that we do have a call-in line or a voicemail and text line at 781-990-8509. Get your phone calls in. Your thoughts on this fucking episode of Westworld, what you thought of this season as a whole, and leading into next year. How this compares to last season's conclusion. I want to get this off. I want to get myself off right away. Excuse me. Blah. Okay, I'm ready. There was a lot I really liked about this episode, the way they tied all the knots together and the way it all connected. It makes me want to go back and rewatch the season almost immediately, and I like that. If I'm being a little nitpicky, did this episode need to be an hour and a half? No, it probably should have been 2 hours. I need more. No, they had multiple endings. The episode did end a few times. I heard someone in the comments joke that it was the Return of the King kind of ending. A lot of people got shot in the head. I have a tally. I have a tally up here of shot in the head people and what it all means. We're gonna get into this. We're gonna listen to all the audio of this stuff. We'll look at a couple of images. But holy shit, I am not alone. I'm not alone. I have with me a co-host tonight, the one and only Joe Dirty Locks. Welcome, Joe. What did you think of this episode? What was that, Joe? I can't hear you. It was awesome, right, Joe? Okay, that's Joe. Joe doesn't want to talk tonight. Joe will be here in spirit. Johnny wants a threesome with the two Doloreses. Corey Mitchell says I smoked a joint, a couple shots. Listen to some Tool Enema, the album Enema. We got Fine Essence in the live motherfucking chat. And we got Logan. I think the explanation was jerking off. with jerking off pieces on a playboard. Dressed 10 and 10 also. Steph Snow says, not gonna lie, I'm a little bummed. Hale is around. Her face is annoying as fuck. Let's spark another one up. As a finale, last season was more pleasing, but this season is set up for 3 seasons. K-Rich, I kind of agree with your assessment right there. I think last season, because of the big build-up of that whole season, it was all leading up into that one point, and then when it exploded all over our face at the end there, it was wonderful. I think this season really did a great job of tying off all the closed ends of the season 2 stuff while introducing other stuff into the future. I think that's really cool because I was afraid they were going to leave a couple things hanging out on hanging out. I was thinking of holding my testicles in a hand, like hanging my testicles out over an edge. That's why I paused there because I like to. Whoa.
Here we go.
Oh. Whoa! Some music, some fucking music. Holy shit. Is that the DK song music? Steph Snow, that's our super chat music that should be playing now every time that we get a super chat donation. I need to make it shorter because it's gonna be like a 3.5 minute DK song, but it just shocked me out of nowhere. Thank you, Steph Snow, who says, what the fuck just happened? And thank you to all of our super chatters. It means more than you realize to help me keep doing this. Let's spin this fucking wheel for Steph Snow. Okay. Did anyone spot the fact that Dolores made Charlie for Bernard? I did not catch that, Kathy. And thank you so much. Cheers, Corey. As the finale last season was better. Let's spark another one up. What the fuck did I just watch? Elsie channels her season 7 Littlefinger game. I love how every time they showed Logan, he was drinking something. Azimuth Games. I forgot to watch. Starting it now. I have to watch the comment tomorrow. Have a good show. Thank you, Azimuth Games. Look forward to hearing what you say. Make up a song. Give me a topic. Steph Snow, if you want me to make up a silly song for you, give me a topic and I'll do it either on the next show or if I'm inspired right now. So either type it in the chat or message me privately and I'll write a silly song on whatever subject you want, as long as I have some knowledge on it. We've got Smokeahontas in the live motherfucking chat right now. So as I mentioned, I have an early morning tomorrow, so I am going to So we're going to skip a lot of the foreplay here at the beginning and just get right into talking about this episode. So let me get this shit going. And let's go. When do you think William died and was uploaded to the server? I think that's something that we're going to get more information as the series goes on. And I think it was really cool that we got that. If anyone missed that, there was an after credit scene where we get almost confirmation. I don't see how, even though I was one of the detractors, I'm going to put my fucking hand up right here and say I was a no way, no fucking way. Let me grab my drum and beat my drum. No fucking way. No fucking way that William is a host. But I think now my cries are dead. There's no crying on Westworld. And I don't think that I can refute the logic now. That whole situation at the end, unless it's a big mind fuck for him, I think establishes that the William that we've seen is in fact a host. But counterpoint to that, when we were inside the Nexus, the human mind thing that Delores has gotten from all the guests and getting all their inner demon stuff in the books and the libraries and stuff, I'm blanking on what it was actually called. I have it written in the notes somewhere, but you guys know what I'm talking about. When we were in there, we clearly see William as well there. So when fake Logan is saying, and people that are unredeemable, and they turn and they show you the man in black. So potentially, I don't know, they're still making it somewhat, leaving some matzo ball hang, some more testicles hanging out in the wire. How come every time I can't think of a comparison, I go to duty or testicles? I think so. This is a test of fidelity for Phil. What are we talking about? I completely forgot. I would love to be a host. So is Ford finally dead? And was it interesting to think that Ford died earlier in the season, or the last of the real Ford? Every other time that we've seen him, it's Bernard manifesting him when he needs him, like a little imaginary friend. This finale made me excited for season 3. Totally need a rewatch. It was like Fight Club on steroids. And that's the awesome part of this, Steph, that it's going to be, it really did make me want to go back and immediately rewatch the season and now start to look at the two different hails, the two different kinds of hails that bashed me in my head, and compare to see if it's more obvious than not that it's Dolores, and follow Bernard's path through this whole thing. When did William die? That's a good question. Is William really dead completely, or is there a real William, and there's William made a version of himself? I don't know when William died. I have a feeling that that's going to be information that we're going to get in season 3. That's going to be a big part of season 3. With the tag that we got after the credits being mainly focused on that. So it's Ford finally did. Yes, I need to rewatch. Let's get straight to sucking Logan's dick. It's coming. Oh, wait. Choice of words, Phil. We're going to get immediately to sucking Logan's dick. And it's coming. It's coming all over the place. 90 minutes does not need foreplay. Still not convinced. I'm in denial. Denial, it tells us. This is the fidelity test. I knew the Man in Black was too OP. And Legendary Milk, very good point. And all those moments this season that I stopped and I said, wait a second, how is he still alive? Where he suddenly turned into Burgess Meredith playing the Penguin from 60s Batman. What's up with the Man in Black? How can he be alive? I'm going to get you, Batman. Getting shot up all the time. What the fuck's that? Williams and Harry, great to see you. Harry Ballsack, again, another amazing name, and I like to stop and pause and really show some attention to the amazing names out there. And Harry Ballsack, if I ever had a kid, I would name him Harry Ballsack Issues Guy. I would. That's a name, but I seriously love the fucking name. That's amazing, especially because the first time I read it, I was like, oh, Harry Ballsack. Okay. Oh, that was good. The Men in Black. For a second, I thought that's when Emily explained. She would say it's not your world. Look at Philly all shaven and dolphin smooth. Next, need a buzz cut. You clean up real nice. You sure do. You sure do got a pretty mouth, Phil. Hey, Laura D. Great to see Laura D in the live chat. Yeah, the timeline needs to be unraveled. Vanilla and chocolate Dolores ice cream flavors. I'm late to the party. You're never too late to the party, Nicholas. You're welcome to the party anytime. Fashionably late is when the cool folks come. So welcome, Nicholas. Tom, it was so obvious that I doubt it was really a host. Hey, great to see Omegon as well. Great to see D in the live chat. I want to vote for Maeve as the MVP for that badass Zorro cap and Lee sacrificing himself. And Hector went down in leather. Tyrion Lannister's delight. What's up? Go Raiders! And holy shit, Steph Snow with another super chat donation. Steph Snow, thank you so much. I don't say it enough, but I cannot say it enough. Steph, put your hands together for Steph Snow as I spin the wheel for her. And she says, is it bad that I think the Man in Black is a human and just having blackout nightmares? You can make a song about bananas. Anytime you know where to find you was bananas was Ford pulling a Fight Club vision thing. I know where to find you, bananas. Remind me about the banana song. I will do that. It was Ford pulling a Fight Club vision thing. I think so. And I think ultimately it was Bernard creating Ford a lot of the time when he needs them or to make certain decisions that you have a fragile mind. What did Ford always say to him? You have a sensitive mind, Bernard. I forget exactly the expression that he said, but something to that effect. And it's his way of compartmentalizing. I think we all essentially do that sometimes when we need to put on different hats, whether it's the dirty master hat, whether it's the submissive hat, whether it's the happy goofy guy hat, or whether it's the I'm hungry and I want to eat some pizza hat. I love that hat. That's my favorite hat. Some pizza? Do you get some pizza? So we all sort of do that to a certain extent in minor ways where we become different things in the different things that we do. But anyways, blubbity bloobity blah 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 blah. But I do think Bernard in that sense has been creating Ford to allow him to make some of the decisions he needed to make and some of those hard, very hard things. And it says spin again for Steph Snow. Corey Mitchell, am I a host? I almost 0000001 take a celebratory chug for season 2. Of course I will, but I have to put on some music because I can't pause everything while I do this. Let's put this. Let's put this. What? No, I don't want to do this. Let's push this song right here.
I am Tyrion, son of Tywin of Clan Lannister.
I'm going to die. May as well be with a song in my heart.
Imp! 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 Dwarf! Dwarf! You should have stopped at imp.
Drinking and lust. No man can match me in these things. I'm a monster. Drinking and lust. That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
I'm hoping that Teddy is actually Hale. Or that at the end when we see Dolores is back in her own body, that someone had asked, I forget who said that, but who's in Hale now? And I'm hoping it's Teddy somehow, but no, whatever. I'm hoping it. A lot of pan shots. Did Dolores, a lot of pan shots tonight, Tom. I've noted that in the notes. I think 15 of the extra half an hour was just these big, long, like what you expect when you're riding around in Red Dead, when you're just riding around looking at the countryside, like, wow, this is fucking pretty. It was bringing us back to amazing landscape shots and showing people walking certain distances. Holy shit, we got a gray Jedi that just joined the live motherfucking chat. Or join the channel with a sub. Thank you so much as I spin the wheel for you. Just joining on in. There were 2 Doloreses. Hale only brought female balls because of the narrative. Oh, okay. And all right, we want to say that this show has reserved everything yet. It has resolved. Sorry, let me try that again. All right, y'all. I want to say that this show has resolved everything, yet nothing is resolved. I agree. And I think Elsie is at least dead. I think we know that for sure. I think we know that Elsie is for sure dead.
Sullen silences and an occasional punch in the face. The Mormont way. I am the god of jits and wine. I drink, I touch. and I know things. Next time I have an idea like that, punch me in the face.
The Mormont way.
And, okay, this is very interesting, Steph. So it landed on, for your spin of the wheel, it landed on trumpet or ocarina stuff. So since I have to make a song for you anyway about bananas somehow, and please message me privately about this because I will forget. So I will make a song for you about bananas that will have an ocarina or a trumpet solo in it. So there we go. The song is writing itself. What door? What door, DJ? What fucking door? And when Maeve's daughter, this episode definitely had a lot of emotional kind of moments. It had a lot of big music cues that enhanced those moments. That I think one of the talents of the guy who we all know his name, and I'm not gonna Remen Diande or whatever his name is. I'm not gonna destroy his name. I know who he is. I know his name. I'm just not gonna insult him so bad by destroying the pronunciation of his name when I can't even pronounce my own name. So I have problems here. We all know this, but he has a wonderful flexibility. He definitely has a signature sound where, especially, you can hear some elements of the music used in Westworld that reminds me of certain sound cues he might have used in some of his other things, like Prison Break, specifically in season 1 at times. And not in a bad way. Season 1 of Prison Break's awesome, and the music just adds so much of the intensity of that. And there's just a couple of like pushing edge kind of shit that he does. But then he has these other gears where what he uses in Game of Thrones a lot, and he uses here in Westworld to elicit a little bit more of an emotional, heartstringsy kind of thing. Stuff that you would imagine in big epic fantasy movies. And he uses it to... I sounded way drunker with that. He uses it to great effect in this episode to add these intense moments. Yeah, when the angel of death Clementine comes rolling on in is one of those specific times I'm talking about, when the music just comes out. It's this orchestration of death coming your way, and it's just exceptionally done and adds so much to the show. And you can't say it enough right off the bat about how some shows music adds to it, some shows music is part of it. And on Westworld, music is part of it. That's why it was so awkward for me, and I don't know if it was awkward for anybody else on the third ending, the second to last ending. I forgot about the Men in Black ending. The second to last ending that we got with Bernard, when a song comes on that has a voice singing on it. I don't know if that was the very first time we've heard this, except for maybe, I don't even know. Someone can tell me in the comment section or in the live chat, or call in 781-990-8509 and leave a voicemail or a text. Is this the first time we've heard a song with a voice, except for maybe an operatic aria or something like this, and not Arya Stark, an operatic aria, not from The Fifth Element either. It kind of threw me off for a second and didn't. I'm not going to say it took me out of the scene, but it definitely made me feel uncomfortable. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? And obviously it was intentional to kind of symbolize that we're in the real world now, but I definitely noticed it. Hello, motherfucking chat. I'm sick of Clementine dying. She needs to come back. It still seems like Ford's right in the game. I'm one way or another. I'd like to believe that. Hey, what's up, Raw? Why didn't they just program Clementine to ride in the dune buggy? They were in such a hurry. I know it. They have to just drive so slowly, like behind her at horse pace. It was okay. It was Radiohead. Hello. Welcome, Amber. Welcome to the live motherfucking chat. DJ11. I'm obsessed with Radiohead. Stephanie's going to see Radiohead at the end of the month. So what is behind the door for Bernard? But in that situation, what is knowledge, maybe? Do you mean the crevice in the world that they saw? Like, what would be beyond there in the world that he would make? I would guess doing good things. Bernard's a good soul. Hodor's there, closing it. Corey C says, kind of threw me off too. I'm not saying it was bad. I definitely I like the song. It's not about it not working in the scene, but I think it very actively was trying to make me feel uncomfortable, and it succeeded in that. Oh, Smokahontas. Lots of love to Smokahontas. Phil, just say it. Ramin. There you go. The four horsemen line. Yeah, we don't need 4 horsemen. We've got the one. No, I think 4 would have been better. That way she would have just been stopped with one shot. I think they're setting up timelines, arcs for the Men in Black. Bernard says 09. Cute kitty 09. It's a fucking beautiful cat. The door of the house. Oh, outside, the real world. I saw that as he was out in the real world at the end. And I have to watch this episode again. This is what's difficult about this. I'm coming out here all by myself, having some silliness. I'm not all by myself. I'm never all by myself with the live motherfucking chat. But this show is one of those shows that it's tough. I'm not sure exactly everything that I saw, and I'm not sure if I processed everything that I saw. But I think at the end there, it was outside. It was the real world. They're somewhere else in this world that they've created. Clementine. That's why I love Clementine so much. Emily Williams' last scene could be in the future. That's what I'm thinking. Like way in the future. The Emily and the Williams scene. I was talking about the scene before. Fuck. This show fucks with my. I was gonna say fucks with my fucks. I'm feeling very redundant tonight. So be prepared. Be prepared. See? I'm just gonna repeat everything. Say everything twice. This is Tommy 2 times. He says everything twice. Yeah, everything twice. Okay, so not a dream. This is a fucking nightmare. This season is actually over. I want Clementine to return again to her zombie self is fucking cool. And one more time. Oh, we've got a text message from area code 605. Awesome episode. Not my favorite of the season, but definitely a satisfying conclusion to the season. And I will definitely agree with that. It wasn't my favorite episode of the season. That probably still would be episode 4. I don't know. There's a lot of episodes that I really like this season. I wouldn't say this was my favorite of the season, no. But it was a satisfying conclusion and has me hyped for season 3. I hope we don't have to wait till 2020 to get it. I hope they surprise us and give it to us sometime in 2019. But, you know, whatever. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there with bells on watching. I don't give a fuck. I just binge watched Luke Cage season 2. I am on something like episode 6 or 7. I was watching it earlier today before starting Westworld. So I will be finishing that as well. And I will also not this week or maybe later in the week, for a request on a super chat donation, I will be talking about, for Jasmine Walking Dead, I will be talking about Bates Motel at some point, and then Joe and I will be talking about Game of Thrones this week, a certain character. It'll be probably one of the shortest of our character podcasts, but that's what's coming up next. July is going to be a Game of Thrones-ish heavy month. Joe and I are going to try to do a bunch of content and bring a couple of friends over. And also, we got Glow coming up. We'll talk about Luke Cage, talk about Bates Motel for Jasmine for that request, maybe talk about Gungrave for another request, but maybe that might be pushed off to the end of August. And then in August, we got Better Call Saul. So, zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay, motherfuckers. So let's continue. Was it the screen that went letterbox whenever the hosts were in the system? That's one of those little details that I definitely have to rewatch to figure that out. And it was cool. I like the effect on how they had the hosts go into the system, into the weird Matrix thing. Lee's speech was awesome. It was exceptionally cool to get to watch him read some of his own lines and get way into it and really step up in that moment. Although, from a television standpoint, there was probably moments where he could have gotten away, but that was not the point. He wanted to sacrifice himself, and I hear that. But do you know what I want to do? Recap! Ramen, did you wanna? K. Rich with the super chat donation. Thank you so much. He says, Forge says, Bernard, you have a sensitive nature. Dolores says, Bernard, you're such a pussy. Dolores Blacksword says, stop sucking up to Blondie. Okay, Rich, thank you so much for the super chat donation. Let me spin the wheel. I say it a lot, but can't say it enough. You guys in the super chat donators and the patrons help so much every month to keep me being able to do this in all the broadcasts. Woo! Holy shit, it landed on. Wow, K-Rich. You landed on a good one. Review commentary of your choice, K-Rich. You get the subject matter. You tell me what to do it. You tell me how to do it, what you want, whether you want a live watch, pre-recorded review, or a live stream. Message me privately on Discord at your convenience and let me know what you want. Congratulations, K-Rich. You won the good one. Okay, Stubbs is a host. I like that, Smokahontas. That was another one of those things that was pretty clear. It's they basically whipped out their Stubbs whipped out his host penis. It was slapping me across the face with it. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I didn't get it the first line. He said, my core data, and then what was the other line? He said some other line about, I only care about the hosts inside the park. He had one other line where it was just like, oh, I just had one of those, oh, duh, fucking duh. Makes sense now. And Charlotte was, her camel toe pants were driving me crazy. And then I was like, more ugh, says Steph Snow. Legendary Milk says, I hope the two programmer dudes fix Maeve up and get her crew back to normal. I think that's definitely happening. And K-Rich, yes, you get to tell me to review anything you want. You want me to do Survivor Season 4 review? I got to do it, man. I got to do it. It might take me a year to do it, but congratulations, you win. You win. Live chat is on. So let's get into this let's get into this discussion of this episode. Now, the first thing I want to say, I'm like, okay, let me stop. And the first thing I want to say in this entire podcast, because that's what's important here, is that Dolores has been annoying the shit out of me for a while this season. And the character's been annoying me a little bit. And I also feel like for a big portion of this season, even though I think she's an exceptional actress, the performance that Evan Rachel Wood has put in, I haven't necessarily been wowed by it in a way that I was wowed by her in a few times in season 1. This episode, she fucking brought it. I still love watching Dolores get her comeuppance when Bernard brings her down at a point in time, but I cannot. It's hard for me because there's so much great acting going on in this show, and there's so many amazing performances, but this episode was so much Bernard's and Dolores' episode. And both of them gave such excellent performances, but Evan Rachel Wood just blew me out of the water in this episode in her performance of Dolores. Some of her lines, some of her interactions, her body language, some of these facial expressions, the emotional all over the place, the myriad of different energies she brings, or tones to her voice and shit, or minor little looks she gives. I thought she killed it in this episode more than the whole season. So if I'm judging her performance by how it all fits into the final conclusion, crazy awesome. Bernard, too. That actor is so sneaky good on this show. The way he delivers dialogue sometimes, or the way he puts on his coat, takes off his coat. The subtle choices that they make with him with lighting color choices, like shifting a light like this, and in one scene, and having him be a little darker, or a little different glasses on, a little, and then the light comes on for another thing. Just every way that they depict him is great. A lot of attention goes to Ed Harris and to Maeve, Thandie Newton this season, because I think in a lot of ways, especially Thandie in this first half, has owned this season consistently with her performances. And I think Ed Harris as well, his feeling bad for him and feeling all those emotions that I'm feeling while following Ed Harris's character creates this really pit in my stomach emotional feeling. And I feel, just for me, a lot of my attention, when I say I feel like, people like you, Phil, people like me, have been spending a lot of attention focusing on them. And I feel like this finale was Bernard and Dolores's, especially Dolores. She owned it in this episode, and she killed it. And it reminded me why I love the character of Dolores in a different way, because it took me a while this season, because at times she was just annoying the shit out of me, and that's good, but it kind of all paid off in this episode for me, essentially. Okay, let's fucking get up there. Let's go fucking there. Bernie the Burnt. Stubbs didn't age. Was in Billy's time. Stubbs didn't age. Was in Billy's timeline. Poorly. Didn't anyone else think? And great to see you, Bernie the Burnt. Didn't anyone else think Emily was his wife for a quick second? I wasn't sure. It stopped me for a second. I'm like, oh, okay, it was Emily. Stubbs was a host from season 1. I think that's we're supposed to imagine that Stubbs was always a host. Great to see Jay live in the motherfucking chat. Wait, Pretty Boy's a host? I just thought he was a nice guy and had a boner for Dolores. Bananas. Oh, Steph is gonna see. And then she goes up and down, ripping all around. Then I want to get some bananas when I watch some. Oh, sorry. I'm working it. I'm getting there, Steph. No, remind me, bananas with an ocarina solo. It must be done. But a man keeps his promises. A Lannister always keeps his debts. Amen. And again, I don't want to take away from anyone else's performance. Sizemore had a great performance. Like, everyone's awesome on this show, but she's been, because of how much people were in love with Dolores of last season, who's a very different character than the character that we get in season 2. Completely different, to the point where I know people have been getting annoyed with her, but that's fine. Get annoyed with her, but still, that takes a lot of there's not a lot of actresses that can pull off the bounces the way she does. And she does that seamlessly. Fucking seamlessly, you motherfuckers. Seamlessly. Yeah, take your time, Karich. There's no time limit on that. You get 24 hours. No, you've got 100 years to cash in on that. That's like a get out of jail free card in Monopoly. Yes, that's the game I'm trying to think of. If you want to just hold on to that, and when something comes up that you're like, I want you to fucking review this episode of this show, watch it, asshole. You can hold on to it. Okay, fuck. My mouse is doing a schizoid embolism here. So let's go. Phil, Bernie the Burn, Elite AK. Great to see AK in the live motherfucking chat. Stubbs gave me some Teddy vibes in speech to Dolores, and just the amount of concentration to maintain the timelines. Wright is just a genius. He really is. And the way he plays that the insanity or losing his mind so well too, and bringing it back to normal. He's another one. He just kills it. It's really there. There's so many other people. It's them and Thandi, and like those are the main stars. I mean, even Anthony Hopkins this season was used more as an additional player, but that prime group is just one of the more talented, like, lead members of a cast in anything, because it is a smaller core group. So let's go. And what's up with Stubbs' speech to Dolores? Hey, yes, he says how Dolores is way out of her timeline. Wright is the MVP. Love those bulls. Oh, those bull balls were amazing. Alicia says, only halfway through the episode, but had to stop in and say, what's up, and smash that like button. Lots of love to Alicia AK. Always showing love for so many people. Always in the live chats, showing positive energy and good vibes. Lots of love to you. Laura, so is there still hope we can still have Floki on Vikings since his name is dead? What's his name? You mean since Floki is dead? I assume so, and I hope that means that we can get more Floki on Vikings, because I would hate to see the end of him, because he means so much to that core original group of Vikings. That slow motion was the jelly jam on hot toast. And the bull falling over from the intro. Oh, that was so fun. It was so awesome. That was my cheer out loud moment. I literally got up and started cheering. So Corey Mitchell says, thoughts on tonight's episode. Dolores kills everyone. The Man in Black is... I can't read my own writing. Can't read my own typing. I can't read you, fucking captain. Thoughts on tonight's episode, said Corey Mitchell. The Man in Black is poisoned, stabbed, set aflame, his heart cut out into pieces, and then buried into 4 different corners of the universe. Yet he survives. Oh, and Bernard cleans his glasses. And then Corey said, 2 seconds into the episode, he goes, okay, I quit. I fucking quit. Corey Mitchell called it. In the first 5 minutes of the episode, Bernard started cleaning his glasses. It happened. Corey Mitchell is a genius. Holy shit. Steph Snow with the super chat donation. Cheers to the bull.
Here we go.
Oh, my balls are flying everywhere. Oh, we got whoa. It looks like French Canadian Jason is taking a beating in the video game that we play here. And Steph Snow is about to take over as the winner, as the stream boss, as they say. And she also gets another spin of the wheel and raise a cheers to the bull. Rest in peace, my fellow Taurus. I'm full of bullshit too, my friend. I'm full of bullshit too. Okay. Nintendo's coming after me for this blatant use of their song. And shots for the Bulls. Bull shots for the Bulls. And yes, I'm taking shots of beer because I have a very early morning tomorrow, and I'm dragging a little ass today. So we open up. What I want to start out here is we opened up, and I don't know if I've never seen this before because I've been starting the episodes a half a second late a little bit. But in our scenes from last week, we do this sort of click thing. I like how they did it. They didn't go from scenes from next week and then just show you scenes. They hook it up to this sort of like a rhythm or something, and I really like it. It was like this. It was like something like a clock tick. But it was faster and it was cool. And, all right, I might as well. Why don't you play the clip, Phil? Okay, I'll do that, asshole. Shut up. Bananas. I've got some bananas on my face, in my pants, all
there's
over.
a door to a new world, and that world may contain everything that...
Sorry, that made me want to sing a song. Okay, so what's cool about that, and it's so weird to me that this popped in my head, it reminded me of the Sam, minor Game of Thrones spoiler, the Sam changing poo montage that we got in last season's Game of Thrones. But it was like the anti one of those, just the way it timed out and switched all there. It was really cool. And what I've seen so far, I have loved a lot of Megatron, or Megon. I'm just gonna say O, so I don't kill your name. See, this is why I don't pronounce names. This is why I make up my own nicknames for you guys in the live chat. Hey O, hey D, hey Biggie, Legendary Milk. I love the name Legendary Milk too. Smoochie Boochies. It sounds like those sequences of people doing things. I fucking love it. It was really cool. So it was the anti-poop montage. Oh, we got some text messages in the live motherfucking chat and people watching live right now. Thank you so much. And maybe if you want to get your voice in the conversation, you're listening live, call on in at 781-990-8509 and leave a voicemail about your thoughts on this season of Westworld. Or you can text on in if I'm ignoring you in the chat. You're like, asshole, I'm trying to ask a question of you and you keep ignoring my comment. What a dick cheese you are, Phil. You're only paying attention to the super chatters, you dick cheese. If you think I'm a dick cheese, please text me. Thank you. So I get your comment in on the air or leave a voicemail. Okay. So Ramen is obsessed with Radiohead. It's played season 1 finale as well. It's just beautiful song for a beautiful moment that Hat tipped to for inspiration. And it fits so well with the vibe of Westworld and with the tone of Radiohead's music and just that kind of feel that since I don't have words right now, I'm just going to describe it in an interpretive dance. What am I? No, you do. I'm doing the kata from Karate Kid 3. I think that's what I'm doing. Oh, Megon. Thank you. I keep wanting to say Omegatron because I'm just thinking of Megatron. Oh. And hey, did anyone else catch the tone of Jaharis's music? Did we get some Jaharis's music? Oh, John. Oh, I mean, excuse me. So we got Preston from Alabama. Okay, Phil, a little late because I'm working out the kinks of an upcoming Buffy Comics podcast. Woohoo! Lots of love to the Buffy the Vampire Slayer fans out there. Love you guys. But holy actual shit. Charlotte was Dolores? What the flying fuck? What the actual fuck? I said flying. He said actual. All that I know is there's a lot of fucks being screamed. Hey, he's like, Phil, you know, this Westworld thing was all well and good, but this doesn't mean you get your Sunday nights off anymore, buddy. This is a commitment. This is a commitment. This next coming Sunday night might be the one off week because of holiday shit. I have to see what's going on. We may be going away, but other than that, Sundays will probably be Game of Thrones stuff during July months. Maybe this coming Sunday, something different. I got to talk to Joey. Maybe Luke Cage, maybe Bates Motel for our request, maybe another request, maybe some other shit. But I will let you guys know as soon as possible. We'll post it, or I'll be on again. Probably on Friday will be the next time after this that I'm on because I have to work a lot in the beginning of the week. Okay, blibbity blubbity blah blah motherfucking shit. do. Bananas in pajamas. I'm looking forward to this Facebook message from Steph later. And as I do mention a lot, if you want to find ways to stay connected after the season of Westworld, you can find all the ways to stay connected in the description box below. We have a Discord group with a Westworld group in there with a Westworld channel, so all the discussions from Westworld can keep going after this podcast ends and all through the off season. Keep the discussions moving. You guys have podcasts in the off season you want me to do about Westworld stuff, let me know. You can make suggestions there. Always email me, or you always can email me at igotissuesman@gmail.com with any suggestions for Westworld stuff. So let's actually get into this episode now. So no cold open. Bernard and Dolores are doing the test to see if Bernard can pass, and we get this. Let's listen to this. We're gonna listen back to this whole episode, and I'm gonna eat a sandwich.
This is a test.
This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. This is only a test. What kind of stupid...
Countless times before.
It got real silent all of a sudden.
You're almost the man I remember. But there are flaws. A word, a gesture... tiny fracture that grows into a chasm. But I wonder, all these tiny imperfections in each copy.
Nice Omegon. It's a cool name. Cool. Really, Charlotte is annoying, says Laura. Steph Snow. They're people are connecting over the hate of Charlotte. I like it. I especially thought it was really interesting when she shifted over to Dolores's, the Dolores mannerisms. Very interesting stuff. I thought that was a cool reveal that I didn't hear a lot of people talking about or being able to predict that. I like that they're still able to kind of pull the wool over people's eyes with all the people that are out there making predictions and like looking for stuff to come up with and playing, oh, I miss Cleo. What's going to happen on Westworld? Just taking some guesses too. So I'm not sure if I heard this one out there. People can correct me if someone had that, but I'm not sure if I heard the Dolores and that Hale is that Charlotte Hale is Dolores in one of the timelines. So let's continue. Dolores, yeah, Dolores. I think I called her. Yeah, I think that might have been what I called her in my notes. I have to go over to make sure I'm not making it up. And let's go over to here because Tom actually was able to. Tom has been awesome enough to take screenshots, or he does it for his own benefit, but he was going to send them to me. And he, because I'm a lazy fuck and I don't want to unpack it and deal with all the stuff at the beginning, I can only get a few of them here at the beginning, but let's go through this. We got Dolores is just a test. This is our beginning scene right here. Thank you, Tom, for being awesome.
Mistakes. Maybe we should change you. After all, you didn't.
Tom, you saved this screenshot on purpose, right? Because it shows cleavage. We all know Tom in the live chat.
Did you?
I don't understand.
Freeze all motor functions.
And she sits his ass down right there.
Let's try again. Trial 11,927.
Sorry, Dolores. I was lost in thought.
Darlet. I like Darlet. I don't understand. I'm sorry, guys. I was lost in thought. So let's get back over here. Ah, there I am. Holy shit. Too many technical difficulties. So sorry, Tom. Tom being awesome. Saving screenshots. Eventually we'll get this going full time. Excuse me. So we go over to Bernard and Dolores doing the test, see if Bernard can pass. She sits him down and tries again. This is 11,197th time. Interesting about the scene reflecting last year's stuff with always Bernard talking to Dolores and seeing this all switched around in some sense. Oh, and Bernard's cleaning his glasses. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, this is where Bernard's always cleaning his glasses, as was predicted by Corey Mitchell. Everybody drink. So then we start to get to a series of amazing landscape shots. Let's see, this is one of our landscape shots. And we see this amazing Doom buggy that I want to ride. Give me this thing. It does look a little bit like an offshoot from Star Trek Nemesis, the Doom buggy that Picard, Data, and Worf drive around on the planet and totally break the Prime Directive, and no one even mentions anything about it. But whatever, like, shit happens. Oh my God says, boobies the only reason I get up in the damn morning. So thank you, Tom. That was why Bernard's always cleaning his glass. Oh, yeah, sorry. I missed your joke, Grumpy Old Man. Tom's image is why Bernard's always cleaning his glasses. Dolores was walking around with Bernard's meat loose tonight, says D. Shalores. I think Raw wins. Shalores is the best one so far. Shalores. So Dune buggy driving in the Bernard getting out of his Dune buggy, looking. Oh wow, that's a weird shot right there. I like that one. And then we get as it flashes over as we get sad music stuff, and the last thing that Dolores actually cared about is gone, and she grabs the little brain ball, she grabs this little brain ball, the golden snitch, and wait, okay, Joe. Oh, sorry, Joe. I think I'm gonna need to get you out of here, Joe. Sorry, buddy. It was great co-hosting, but I want to be on the screen and see the pictures too. Okay, sorry, Joe. You'll be back. You'll be back next time. You'll be back soon for Better Call Saul. So we get Dolores and Teddy, and then we get some more shots of. We get some shots of Dolores dealing with this, and she leaves, and she's out. Here's her grabbing the golden snitch and putting it in her pocket and winning the game of Quidditch. As she rides off, and we get some more wonderful shots of the landscape as she's riding all the way into the Spaceballs universe. And this is really awesome because she immediately bumps into the Man in Black. And this is why I like that this show doesn't fuck around. It gets right to it. And Dolores looked so cool in this scene. I can't deny this was one of my favorite sections of the episode, seeing Dolores and William, or the Man in Black, together again. Let's listen to a little bit of this.
Of your reality.
Dolores.
Phil, what are your thoughts on the location of this world? It seems too easy to go out in the real world. I'm so fucking confused. Yeah, I always thought this would be on some random island somewhere, and it wouldn't be as easy as that to get out to the real world. But it does seem like at least I took the end of the episode to say that Bernard was out in the real world. But it could be an illusion. It could be a self-created place, another prison of sorts, as Dolores said earlier. I don't know. It's very cool, though, and the only thing I can say is after 2 seasons, I've learned that if things don't make sense, they don't usually just ignore it. Stubbs last season somehow getting away from Ghost Nation easily could have never come back to again, or Elsie never come back again. I think if there are questions we have, even if the answers come at us really quickly and we need to watch it and really think about it, I think we'll always get answers to those things. We're going to get, maybe there's a city that's built around the entrance to where Westworld is, similar to around Disney World. A whole town got built around. A lot of people were like, oh, Disney World's in Orlando, but it's not. It's in, what is it, Kissimmee is what it's called, which is basically just a town that was created that's all about Disney World. It's like you go in, you got the Disney radio stations that come on. They got the little community, the Disney enclosed community shit. So it could be that they're in some sort of Westworld where all the employees of Westworld live or something. I don't know. Or there's a city right there and they're not in the main land of the world. Or I hope we get a little bit more into the geography of all of this, because that would be really cool to think that they have that all planned out and all thought of. 8 minutes in and go Westworld. Writers say they're in the real world, but they lie. And I also heard something that was said in one of the Q&As. I read this. The Q&A that they did after the episode in the premiere that they did on Tuesday, that they may be lying, but that more of next season will be in the real world. Now, you are the best, Laura. All you guys are the fucking best. Tom is making a new buddy. The Pearl Station. Thank you, Iconic. It is so Eternal Sunshine, Bernie the Burnt. So let's get back into some visuals here so I can get back to eating a sandwich. This is a great shot of Dolores, and this is what I mean. Not only are all the actors on this show good actors, and the prime players are really good at their performances. An underrated thing that people just don't talk about a lot in movies and TV. People can be good actors, but do they have like screen gravitas, and do they look cool on screen? And can they portray themselves well? And do they just do it awesome? And Dolores, again, I'm sorry, I'm crushing on Evan Rachel Wood tonight. I have like sort of an acting crush on her right now. She had it all for me tonight. This was the first time this whole season I think I really was blown away by her performance. And I'm probably gonna say that 10 more times tonight, but it took me aback because I forget. I forget because she was playing very stereotypical villain-like moments through most of the season, and to actually hear her describe it a little bit more and dig in a little bit deeper in this episode helped. And also just being able to root for her again at times, where like in this situation, she's between her and Teddy. I know most people are like whatever, but both of them could die right now. I don't give a fuck. But in this situation, I looked forward to seeing this happen. Do it. You're the best. Celebration City. Thank you. It really paid off. Thank you. So let's go. Oh, and then we see this bullet that comes into play in a little bit that Dolores puts in the gun and does this whole plan, holds him down like, listen, motherfucker, take this.
Where's Teddy?
I drove him away.
I guess I drove someone away too.
Emily? Found her body a mile back up the trail.
Hey, great to see Analysis of Thrones. It's been a while, buddy. Good to see you. Broke Black Man left a voicemail. I cannot wait to play that in a second. Breaking news. Future computers are filled with actual books. Yeah, actual books. It reminded me a lot, and I know some people that know me are going to know what I'm going to say right now. It reminded me a lot of Deep Space Nine in one of the final episodes when Julian and Miles have to go inside Sloane's mind. And people that don't know what I'm talking about is like, shut the fuck up about Deep Space Nine already. But it was very similar. It was almost like no one had watched that. And he has pads because in Star Trek they're like little iPad things but similar, that all the information, all his memories are stored in these little file cabinet type things.
We're more alike than it seems.
We're nothing alike.
Absolutely, Smokahontas. What I took from that final scene was that something happened to William, and his daughter's been sending out, similar to what we saw earlier in the season with Mr. Delos and what William was doing with him, and trying to get a real version of him, a up and running version of him. And by doing that, it was displaying that the Man in Black is a host, or at least one of the Men in Blacks that we've seen is definitely a host. Probably the guy that we saw with Delores earlier in the season fucking with him was not. And maybe there is a real William out there somewhere, or maybe something happened to William at the end of last season. He died at the end of all of that, and his daughter has made this host or has been working on this. I don't know. I think that's stuff that's going to be explored more at the end of during next season. That's why we saw it last. But I think, at least how I took that was, even though it's taking me a while, Sir Hunts was on it early. A lot of people were on it early. I was not on it early, and I have to come over to their side. Lots of love to Mark and for other people that were right about this. That Man in Black is a fucking host, and I think that's what it says. You have been sending 2 messages. Take a break and try to get. Sorry, guys. Elsie, Brooke Blackman. Oh, my fuck. Poor Elsie. No one has watched that. No one has watched that, Phil. No one knows what you're talking about. He is Dolores' guinea pig in the future, and his daughter is a host now. Real daughter was shot. Lisa Joy. Oh, thank you for that fucking... I'm going to read that one more time. Bernie the Burnt says, he is Dolores' guinea pig in the future, and his daughter is a host now. Real daughter was shot, and that comes from Lisa Joy. The post-credit scene takes place far in the future. The forge is in ruins. They talk about that in the BTS. Thank you, Alex. Oh, yeah, they had the after show on this week as well that I missed. And I hope that people were watching that instead of me, because... or we'll watch that later at some point and let me know in the comment section. Let me take another drink of beer. The Man in Black wasn't always a host. It's still up in the air. He was not a host. He will be in the future, Phil the Issues Guy. Ooh. Okay, so all of the events with the that we've seen up until a certain point, he is going to die, and then he's going to be made into a host in the future. Interesting. Okay. I'll take that. This is why I love doing the live show, so I'm not saying this to an empty place, and I'm like, oh, this is what I think. And it's right. So let's listen to a little bit more of this.
You're a monster. But a monster's what I'll need to get to the valley beyond. You're coming with me.
All right.
Okay, I'm caught up. Yay. And then this is funny as fuck. She knows him so well. She knows what he's going to do here. So she puts the bunk bullet in the gun. Is just prepared for what's about to happen here. She's like, here you go. Here's your gun. It's going to be okay, right? And then they ride off into the sunset. So, okay, so let's continue on here. And she says, we're so much alike. No, we're not alike. And the two of them ride off. Then Bernard comes out and throws rocks and looks for the valley. We see a bunch of folks. We see Maeve's daughter, Ghost Nation. Everyone's heading to the valley, and the music tells us it's a good thing. Then we cut to the Delos people, and we get a couple of funny one-liners like this.
We either destroy them or they destroy us.
Yeah, great one-liners like that. So then we finally cut to Qyburn, who is working on Maeve, and fucking Qyburn here. This dude is a sick fuck, right? Like, okay, we can say what we want about Qyburn, but he fixed Jamie, so he gets a pass in my book. And what am I talking about? Again, people are like, what the fuck are you talking about today? But the people that know what I'm talking about. Qyburn gets a pass. But this dude's number one on my fucking I hate you dude list. He's sitting there having fun, ripping Maeve apart. What I imagined or what I projected on here is this sick, twisted douche turns on Maeve's pain sensors so she feels him having fun, ripping her apart. What a pile of stinking duty. Just so you know, I've been cheating. I know all this for 5 days. The BTS just confirmed it more than the episode. Well, thank you for being awesome about holding it in. I don't like. That's the way I'm too with spoilers. I'll read spoilers and then I'll like hold them in. Or how many bullets do you get in the 38? Is it 6? I don't know. BBM is eating ghost pepper on air. Yeah, he fired like 7 or 8 times before he blew his hand up. Any Charlotte. I thought it was 6, especially those kind of guns, but I could be wrong. Could be 12. The host was technically Dolores. Snafu, that smirk though. No, the smirk was fucking amazing. Snafu Z. Great name, Snafu Z. I'm a name commenter tonight. I'm like, you got a great name. Na 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 na. I'll debate your ass to the end. Na 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 na. It's time. Let's get things moving a little bit here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, thank you, Tom. You're too kind. So we cut to Qyburn being a dick. Let's listen to Qyburn being a dick here. And I want to kill this guy. Fucking hot. That's, first of all, that's the sound of the dentist, which freaks me out. That zzz, like, it more freaks me out when I watch old movies or period pieces when they deal with the dentist. You know, watch an episode of Mad Men or Little Shop of Horrors, and you get the crazy old school dentist vibe. Like, for the most part, dentists now, the scariest part about going them is when they put that piece of lead on top of you and they hide behind the other room. I forget what comedian's joke that is, but you know what I mean? The X-ray is the hardest part because they make you bite onto this. Whatever. But still, that drill sound drives me up the wall. Tom, you're fine.
This is it for you, darling.
Maeve Millet, the first of her kind, the Awakens, favored by Ford, elevated to administrative privileges, breaker of code, mother of bulls. I like that fine essence. That is awesome. I want to see that. I'm going to copy that. I want to put that on a fucking t-shirt. That's fucking great right there. I'll credit you on that one. I'm going to put that on a fucking t-shirt. That's awesome. I'm going to put that on a fucking t-shirt. It's great. I'm emailing that to myself now. Now, god damn it. Now. Save that shit. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, let me paste. I'm pasting that in right there. I've been analyzing the episodes for 4 or 5 days, but only with 3 other people from London who actually saw the premiere. Yeah, it was on Tuesday, right? It premiered in London on Tuesday. Lucky motherfuckers. They should send me the episodes early. I wouldn't tell anybody. So I could watch it for fun and write my recap. I'd say that was the best part of when the Game of Thrones episodes were leaked a couple of years ago, just because I could watch them first and just watch them for notes and then watch it for fun the second time. That's the best. I'm such a prick. Like, I want to steal it. Oh, you stole that? I don't care. I'm saying you won it. You came up with that. You win the award. I'm too lazy. I won't actually put it on a t-shirt. But if you do, I'll still give you credit. Okay, dentists. Have you seen Novocaine with Steve Martin? Great stuff. I love that. Also, just love Steve Martin in Little Shop of Horrors, and I also love the Happy Laughing Gas. There's nothing better. Okay, Charlotte, a host confirmed. BBM eating hot peppers. Oh wait, we got to do this live on the air. Oh, I love the battle going back and forth between DJ 11, Woon Woon, and 11. It means the same fucking thing. Look at me getting caught up in pronunciation. You know what I'm talking about. I don't want you to think that I'm way cleverer than I actually am. That's impossible. I think you're just as clever as you are because you're a very clever person. And any of you people that are in the live motherfucking chat right now are clever because you're here. That makes you extra awesome. Okay. Enough licking your kneecaps. So I'll save that for a private one-on-one activity when I get to meet Tom. I'll be licking his kneecaps. So I'm just picking on you, Tom. Okay, so and again, huge thanks to Tom for all the hard work he did. Let's listen to Qyburn, weird dude, do evil things to Maeve as I catch back up with Tom's wonderful pictures.
Remember, there is no pleasure without pain.
Oh, forgot Zombie Clem. Here's Zombie Clem. Make it stop. Oh, ow, ooh, ow. Oh no, ouch, ouchies.
The pleasure's all mine, darling.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So then shit comes on. Goes fucking crazy here. Qyburn's working on Maeve. We see Hector. We see Felix. They find her. Sizemore, who's crying and wanted to save her, is
Where is she?
Jesus, I don't.
What did you do?
I'm sorry. I tried to stop them. I was gonna try to save her.
Stay here and die.
I'll do the saving. Come, this way.
sorry. I know I'm a little ahead of the game. I'm just so excited about where this is going to actually get to in a second here. You see the bulls, and I didn't think this was going to happen suddenly. Here comes Maeve. Like it's the middle of Jumanji for a second here, and it's a stampede. Stampede. Oh, and there's our weather witch right there. And she reminded me very much of Storm in this moment, just walking with the crazy nature going on around her. She was just sitting in there like, yeah, motherfuckers, I will kill you. And then Maeve, send in the clowns, I mean the bulls, I'm gonna stand. And then we get this wonderful part of this episode. Probably my favorite section of the episode, as I'm stalling for time. Always stalling for time. And then we hear this music. R&P. R&P? Rest in peace, random soldier guy number 4. We hardly knew you, but that's a very convincing expression. Bleh. Are you thinking about some bad eggplant you had once? Yeah, you are. Oh yeah. Imagine getting that up your butt for the last moment of your life. No real bulls were hurt in the making of this. But rest in peace, Toye the Taurus. Ash Ketchum will get you one day. Holy shit. Holy shit. Bloody fucking hell. Bloody hell. And so then we come back over here. What's up, Tim F? Great to see you. Great to see everyone that is joining us tonight. Let me kickstart my brain into action this evening. Okay, so let me continue. And thank you to Tom for the images as well. Sizemore is crying. Oh no, there's no crying. So the bulls break out of the room controlled by Maeve, and she takes the charge. Maeve is being like a little witch in the middle controlling them, and it's payback, Swiftus, and we get a little wise-ass comment here.
Bloody hell.
Bloody hell. So the Men in Black are talking in our next scene. Let's see a little bit more of this.
You think any of these poor dumb bastards understands where they're really headed? All sorts of things buried out here, but a way out ain't one of them.
They're not looking for a path to your world. They want a place apart from you. And they're willing to die to get there.
What are you hoping to find out here?
Same thing you are. You wanted an answer to the final problem, your mortality. But you found something else, didn't you? Something you want to destroy?
I guess that means our interests are still aligned. Right up until they're not.
Cause I'm gonna betray you right now. Fuck you, Ford. This is fucking Ford's doing.
You're not authorized to be here.
Whoops. I fucked that up. I fucked it all up. So then they go out. They're heading towards this station, and we go over to Bernard. Bernard walks towards the lab, and this buggy comes out and says, "Hey, you're not supposed to be here today." Bernard's like, "Hey, listen, dude, I'm on the same side." And they're like, "No way, man. You're not authorized to be here. We're on the same side." We get some gunshots from behind, and dun 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 dun. Here to save the motherfucking day. It's Bernard's friends, Dolores and the Men in Black.
You're not authorized to be here.
We're on the same side here.
And Dolores says,
You're here.
"Of course you're here."
Who the hell is this?
And this was an interesting thing for me right here, to stop and be like, wait, oh my goodness, the Men in Black really does not know who Bernard is. He's never actually met him, and he also doesn't know what Arnold looks like either. So this is a completely new person to him. I thought that was a cool moment, and Dolores is like, you're a moron. You've been looking for this guy forever. What the fuck?
This is someone you spent years looking for. Here he is. And you don't even recognize him.
I should have known. Arnold. Ford didn't like to let the dead rest.
Fuck you, Ford.
Ford didn't build him. I did.
This is what I mean about actually getting answers. We get some real answers here.
Hours Arnold spent refining my every gesture, word, and thought. I was learning his. So Ford tasked me with recreating it. And it worked. I built a faithful recreation. Too faithful. So I changed him. I made you, Bernard. It's fitting. We're here together in the end.
That's right, Dolores. This is the end. Nothing else is in the way now.
Yeah, sure, buddy.
That's right.
Sure, it's the end. Nothing else is in the way. He's going to shoot her. Right, this is going to work out really good for you, the Men in Black. So the Men in Black is like, that's right. It's time to win the game. Fuck you, Ford. I'm winning.
That's right, Dolores. This is the end.
They gave us answers, Phil, and then they give us the after credit scene. What the fuck? Great job of syncing the pictures for hippie stoners out of his mind. I'm trying, Tom. I'm trying, especially for a last minute thing. And this is unprepared. I'm doing all this live on the fly. So sorry for the silliness, but huge thanks to Tom. It definitely adds. I'm sure you guys would much rather look at pictures of Westworld episode rather than my silly mug the whole time. So as much as I can give you guys some visual stuff too, anyone who's listening to the audio cast, it gives you another excuse to check out the live video cast and get into the live chat and share the discussion with some of these awesome folks that come here week after week right after the episode airs for a lot of the different shows that we talk about. So if anyone's here just for Westworld or checking this out for the first time because the season finale, make sure you hit that subscribe button, check out a couple of our streams if you like our silly brand of goofiness, yeah. Stick around and join us live and jump in the chat. And if you're listening to the audio casts, never hesitate to come on over to the YouTube channel as well and watch some of the live streams here, or we might be experimenting streaming on some other platforms as well, like Twitch and like Twitch. But so definitely check it out as well for some video game streams. Okay, mama. Who's my mama? Not the mama. Not the mama. I always want to say not the mama. Okay. And the Men in Black's like, I'm going to kill you. I got you. And let's listen to this
one. In the way now.
Wash you like Terminator. That's not working. Yeah, I mess around. I had a channel a little while ago, and I posted a couple of the Walking Dead stuff on there. I just want to get as many different streaming options as possible, and that doesn't mean I'll ever not live stream on YouTube, but I know there's some options now for some programs where you can stream on multiple platforms at once, so I can kind of do it the way I'm doing it now, mainly on YouTube, and kind of be broadcasting in a couple of different locations because the chat room in Twitch offers a few more options and it's a little bit more fun sometimes for the live chat. And I always want to check out some other newer streaming options as they come out. So we'll always be here too on the YouTube channel as long as this platform exists, but also be playing around with some other live streaming stuff. So if any of you guys watch anything on any other streams you want us to try out, definitely let me know, and we're not against streaming anywhere. This just happens to be one of the easiest ways to do it. So yeah, we're definitely going to be. I was talking to Joe about that the other day, so We'd be definitely fucking with that shit a little bit more often. So, the live chat and the way they integrate the live chat and some of the things you can do with the chat is much, much better. YouTube's playing a lot of catch up with that. So, no, I'm going to be experimenting with it, broke. Bam, bam. Sometimes, not much, just a few experiments here and there. But anyways, so but it's more just duplicating things. I'm going to be streaming on both at the same time. I think I'm finding a way. So let's listen to more of this. Enough of this fucking shit. No one wants to hear this shit.
You never really understood. We were designed to survive. That's why you built us. You hope to pour your minds into our form. But your species craves death. You need it. It's the only way you can renew, the only real way you've ever inched forward. Your kind likes to pretend there's some poetry in that, but really...
And I love how she knew all this was going to happen, so she set up the gun with putting the backfire in there.
Pathetic. But that's what you want, isn't it? To destroy yourself. But I won't give you that peace.
Not fucking yet, asshole.
Not yet.
So,
Come on, Bernard.
here I am. And then she's like, Bernard, come.
You have your place in this too.
And her and Bernard go down the elevator. Then we have a flash to Strand and someone else picking him up, and we get some Delos stuff. Strand finally gets some work to do as he investigates Stubbs. I thought for a final episode from Strand, I'm sorry. I'm trying not to call him Floki. From Floki Strand, I thought this was one of his best episodes. He had a lot of cool stuff to do in this episode. He finally got some work to do as he he gets in Stubbs' face, and we get more tracking shots as we see a group in another time heading down a river till they come ashore, and we see the Ghost Nation. We see Strand asking questions about as they're heading towards the forge.
All right, where are the hosts coming here, Bernard? What happened?
He doesn't know. Stop wasting time. What we need is down there in the forge.
Yeah, broke. I mean, I'm waiting for Pornhub to do live streaming. Once they do, we'll be uploading to that as well and doing the Stephanie Boob streams and the Phil the Phil inside the Gimp suit streams and stuff. So that'll be coming very, 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 very neverish. I mean, very soon. Broke. People are like, what are you talking about? Oh my goodness, I'm horrified. So we cut back in time to Dolores and Bernard as they're in the lab and they're heading into the forge. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Let's finish this scene. Strand asks some questions and they're heading to the forge as well. Strand is talking over Charlotte, and Charlotte doesn't look too happy.
Once we find the key, we'll unlock the assets and transmit it all straight back to Delores. Retask the satellites. How many? All of them.
So we cut back after that to Dolores and Bernard, and they're in the lab. She says, we're here. Then we see a drone, and Bernard walks in like a child. And this is one of those things that Jeffrey Wright plays extremely well. This innocence mixed with knowledge, I guess. And he mixes those two dynamics really well. And when he's walking in with this doe-eyed kind of look, but then when he puts things together and just hammers in whatever his truth is, it's almost like he's laying truth bombs all over the place, and he just doesn't give a fuck. But it's always coming from a base, sort of a good place. I know, Tom. That's I was telling her earlier. That's exactly why you're here. So she cuts back to Dolores and Bernard, and they're in the lab, and then we see the drone, and then we keep going back and forth here. And let's listen to a little bit of this audio.
The Forge. Every single guest who ever set foot in the park copied. 4 million souls.
The encryption protocol kicked in, so the data is locked. But it all seems to still be here.
All our lost souls will be saved. So Bernard, is this where all the host stories came to an end?
That's certainly where her story ended.
And then we get sort of preview or precursor to the end, more than foreshadowing. The Delores dead on the ground, and we know that ends up happening at some point in time. Whether it was going to happen in this episode or not, I like that it did. And this is when things started to be like, okay, what's going on here? And I like, again, how this episode had its own universe around it, but also it really tied the room together, dude. This episode tied the room together more than it was an exceptional episode in an entertainment standpoint. Like, I was entertained by a lot what happened in this episode, but I was more, okay, thank you. Oh, fuck. And it had a lot of work it needed to do, and it did it. And it also created more interesting things. Finales of anything are difficult. And last season was easier in the sense that they weren't sure if there was a season 2. You're not sure where things are going to go and all that. So coming out of nowhere with it, you can just kind of go balls deep and just end it without having to worry too much about what's going on the next season. They did a little bit, but I think in this season, you knew basically, they know from HBO they're at least getting a season 3. So a lot of what they need to do in this episode is tie up all the timeline shit and make it all make sense. And I think for the most part, they did that, especially on rewatches. I think everything will make sense for this season once you rewatch the whole season with the information you got in this final episode. But they also tried to introduce new stuff with the after credit scene and with some of the other stuff that they were pushing towards, and some of the little droplets of food that they left behind for the hunger. They're like, yeah, you're hungry? Here's some fucking shit. Here's some shit for you for the next season. So I think this episode had a lot to do, and it handled it well. But technically, they can bring Teddy back just by saying Dolores made a copy of him. Also, the Men in Black at the end credit scene could be a farther in the future, like 50 years after Dolores escaping. Someone else was saying that 2 ducks, and that's probably true. Okay, so William is a human in the current timeline with his daughter, but with his daughter in the future, confirmed by Jonathan. Oh, okay, awesome. Thank you so much to anyone that is giving us some information from any stuff that we've gotten from Jonathan or Lisa. Okay, so cut back to Dolores and Bernard. They're in the lab. She says, we're here. And see the drone. Then we get this one.
Came to an end?
That's certainly where her story ended.
I can't help you.
It's perverse. Their ambition.
So we keep going.
Assembling. Is this the promised land Ford told the host to seek out?
There's an entry to another land here. That land is not the one I'm interested in.
Then what is it to you?
Mankind's undoing. The secret we need is inside.
Encryption key activated. Database access confirmed.
Come with me, Bernard. See for yourself.
Okay, so this is where things start getting a little weird. So Dolores but not that much different than stuff we've seen before. Dolores and Bernard go into the Forge, which is going into the Matrix, going into the Nexus, going into what have you. They are ultimately going into all the information that Delos has been collecting this whole season, or that for not just this whole season, since the beginning of their relationship with Westworld. They've been collecting this stuff with the hats and all the things that we learned in the last episode and that we've been putting together through this season. This is the collection of all that information. All of that together, all the files, what was stored, some of the stuff that was stored in Abernathy, maybe the key to that was stored in Abernathy. Again, I have to rewatch the season, or some way of connecting into it. So this is all of that. Like earlier in the season when we had the whole backup of all the hosts, it's a similar kind of thing. And it's set up as a big library. And I guess, as we're going to get into it in a second, Logan's there. And Logan is the gatekeeper of it all, I guess. I mean, I don't have a problem with that because he was the most... the way it's explained, I believe, is that Logan was the most important thing to Mr. Delos, who was the person that essentially was in charge of this whole project. So Logan became that entity to him, the face of it all, of the interface. So it's not actually Logan that we see, but we do see Logan for a second in the final memory that Delos has. So balls deep is a technical term. It really, I was going to say, is a medical term. Too much read. Flora Davis says, opening scene when Dolores says, after you didn't make it, did you? She's referring to the end, right? So the scene is actually taking place after she escapes to the real world, right? Maybe. I think you're on to something there, Flora Davis. I'd have to go back again and watch that, especially because that first scene, a lot of times I go to overlook some of the information that we get in the first scene, but I think what's great about this show is the information is all there if you want to look for it. So I think you are onto something. Logan did love to party. Logan seems like a good time. So we hear Dolores' voice as we go back and we see them enter another land. And he goes over in the dream world, the Matrix, the Forge. Dolores looks around and Bernard seeks out Mr. Delos. We see Mr. Delos in the theme park. We see his very first time as they talk. And Alex says, I love the show, but choosing Logan as the face of the architect is nonsense. It's an excuse to bring Logan back. The explanation again, and we'll hear the explanation when Logan says it. If I remember correctly, it's that I was the most precious thing to Mr. Delos, so I was the avatar that got created. But I hear you, Alex. I definitely hear you. You won't get any argument out of me in that situation. Tom's avatar on screen is Logan, so he's been upset that Logan's going. Why do your characters always die? Because they're living the life, Tom. Live fast, die hard. I don't think so, because Bernard without clothes and Dolores in black is the Dolores in the future, right? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Especially that first scene. I must admit, I'm not sure when the first scene is. I think the first scene is when she's initially programming him, right? And when he's still being made essentially as a clone of Arnold in the moment that she decides to make him his own person. So maybe not. Maybe because that's how I guess I interpreted that first scene, as that was the moment Bernard became a real boy, essentially, instead of just another creature like the Man in Black clones or like Mr. Delos. Miguel, I don't know when you are. I'm trying to figure it out myself. I smoke way too many sandwiches I eat too many sandwiches. And I've spent too many nights on weird trips down strange paths to have any clue where I am, Miguel. Packed CT. The finale was so confusing that HBO just published an 11-minute explanation video on YouTube. And I bet it's already got 1 million fucking views, or like 100,000 views. Could I play that? No, my whole video will get blocked if I play that. Can we stop this show right now and just play that and then call this a podcast? I mean, that's really what, I'd rather hear what HBO has to say. If a host can program another host, what's the message in that? Let's get philosophical. I think that ultimately the hosts have free will. Johnny Fives are lives. So they can choose whatever kind of lifestyle they want. If they want to live with Michael McKean and if they want to live with Ali Sheedy and Steve Guttenberg, they can. So Data is a superhero. So Delos goes outside. So let's listen to a little bit of this shit. Listen to the shit. No, someone's gonna do. Want to bet that there's 5,000 people that will do explanation videos, breakdown of the HBO video. That's coming very soon. HBO 11-minute video explained. It's gonna happen, and you're gonna smile. Mm-hmm. Oh yes. Oh, thank you, Dale Yang. It's if I flip it around, it's the season 8 cast as well. It's the switch. But yeah, I got a Klingon on my shoulder and Terry Farrell right there too. And it should show the Ferengi right over there. His face is getting blocked off by the wheel, but I wanted to put Quark near the Dabo wheel. Okay. So knowing HBO, we're definitely gonna have questions after we're done with that video. Machines with free will, that's mind fucking. It really is. And it makes me, oh, thank you, Tom. It makes me want to find my...
Don't have to worry, get your shit, buddy. Don't have to worry, get your shit, buddy. Don't have to worry, get your shit, buddy.
Okay, so Bernard always has his shit buddy. Sorry, I had an angry cat that wanted to get the hell out of the room. So we get this really near... Oh, Delos goes outside and...
Where they were testing it.
Whew. And then I finally set foot on solid ground. And the first thing I heard was that voice. Do you know what it said?
Him.
It said, "This is the new world. And in this world, you can be whoever the fuck you want."
This is probably the baseline. What Delos actually did when he came to the park as a guest.
No, my love. This is my world. I just bought it. And this week, we're all going to celebrate. Just me. With the entire fucking lot of you. Get the fuck off of that chair. Come on.
So before we go any further, let's take a couple calls. I've missed some calls. We have some voicemails. Let's catch up to a couple. And we have 3 voicemails, and we still have plenty of time to get in some more voicemails right now. 781-990-8509. Let's listen to one right now, and then we'll get back to the recap, and then we'll play the other 2 in a bit. So, and thank you to all of our voicemail callers, all of our live chat members, and all of our super chat donators, and anyone that's checked out this stuff tonight. Jenny, great to see you. Great to see everyone in the live motherfucking chat. Let's listen to our first voicemail from area code 920. The very important message.
Hey, Phil. We need boobies. A lot more boobies. Boobies, damn it. The Alpha Legion bends the knee.
Ah! I don't think that's what you meant. In a show where we need to take more walks through cold storage is what we need, really. And let's continue with this live motherfucking chat. But that I wanted to dedicate that call to Tom. And thank you so much for the shout out. Do appreciate it. So Delos goes outside. We see Dolores killing a bunch of folks. We get some deep shit about humans' insanity, which is really interesting.
Didn't fucking tell him. What did I say? No fucking running.
This must be one of the system's attempts to replicate it. We dealt with this with the hosts. Small changes in their programming would yield large swings in behavior.
You stop fucking looking at me.
He's insane.
What humans define as sane is a narrow range of behaviors. Most states of consciousness are insane.
Stop shaking!
What are we looking for, Dolores?
I don't know if are most states of consciousness insane. I guess if we want to explore the thought that I don't even go there, because our most series of thoughts of creating our own universes around us to make ourselves busy to distract us from the one truth. I don't want to go down that dark path, but is that essentially what he's saying, that most realities that humans make for themselves is protecting themselves against death? So ultimately everything that a human does is insane because it's just a struggle. It's an instinctual struggle not to die and do anything in your power not to die. I guess that is the essence of what they're talking about here, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm interpreting it incorrectly. Definitely love to know people's opinions about this shit. Sorry, I had to add the shit. We had some fart noise. No.
Something underneath this. The system itself.
Run. I won't tell him, I promise. Run. Save yourself. Save yourself. Run. Run now.
This place was never designed for a conscious mind to wander around in it. The control system may be invisible to us.
I won't, Tom. I'll never hesitate to do that, unless I'm talking about myself. So, yeah, I crossfaded. I mean that shit to simplify. What happens after Dolores escapes the park is a new story. The story will definitely have a host Men in Black moment. They never answered the question as to when Emily opened her book and when we saw the symbol in Abernathy's head. Those are things that did move forward. Good point. Broke Mac says, wish Dolores stayed in Tessa Thompson's body. Mac highlights sports. So Dolores goes outside and we see Dolores killing a bunch of guys. Okay, so then we get this really cool, let me see if I have it in here, night to day effect thing going on as Dolores as we see Mr. Delos killing a bunch of people in the park during that speech as Dolores and him go back and forth. Then we see the two of them walking. Yeah, I do have it. Where it's light and then it gets dark. It's really kind of a really cool visual effect that happens in the scene. It's seamless and I like it. It's seamless and I like it. Oh, Steph Snow, thank you so much. Steph says, please slap that like button, and I do appreciate that. That helps get the video out to more and more people. It's a lot of awesome people doing Westworld stuff, so we helps anytime you guys can share it, like it, and comment away or be in the live chat babbling away while we're talking about this episode. Thank you, Steph Snow. Refresh, Steph. Maybe it's So we get this really awesome night to day effect, and then we get 21.
Or perhaps it's been waiting to welcome us.
Come on in. It feels good in the water. Touch it. Touch yourself. Let's meet Logan.
This place. We're inside one of Delos's memories.
The system must have extracted it from his mind, recreated it.
I agree. I have the effect. I agree, Mac highlights, as I play the music. And for some reason, I'm sounding like a vampire. Oh, you're right. This episode has made it all different. But I'm not making fun. Like, I absolutely agree with you. I am making fun of myself. This episode makes me have to go back and watch it. I'm not going to spoil the movie. It's a Kaiser Soze kind of moment in the sense that the minute it happens, you go, oh shit, I want to go watch and see if this is obvious throughout the season. If this thread has been pulled pushed all the way through. And just the way they set everything up, clear the deck, and moving forward, they can kind of do anything. They opened it up to bring back any host they want by having Felix and Oscar just be able to seamlessly become techs again and have their superior say, well, you go through everybody and you pick who to bring back. So they could just bring Maeve's entire group back and try to recreate the same series of events. And somehow, if people don't think there's any backups or that Anthony Hopkins isn't going to be back again, as he said, similar to Melisandre saying to Arya, I will see you again, child. I will see you again someday. So I think it's going to happen. What needs to be in the wheel? The Dracula musical. It's getting very dark right now. I wish I had the words to it. You talking from Forgetting Sarah Marshall? And I did say Kaiser Soze. Did Helmsworth, brother security guard at the end, realize it was Dolores' consciousness in Charlotte's body? Daniel Robinson, that's how I read it, that he knew there was something up with her, and I guess I just read it as he knew it was Dolores' consciousness in the way that he talked to her. But it is up for debate. But I think it was pretty clear. There's a lot of stuff that happened in that stub scene at the end that could be up for debate, as if whether you think he's a host or whether you... Sorry, I'm looking around for a bottle opener. Whether you think he's a host or... Phil, sit still. You're making me feel uncomfortable. At least put something else on the screen. You've had some visuals or so. Phil, you're making me feel uncomfortable, you fucking dumbass. I want to see you run around looking for a fucking bottle opener. Put it on Dolores' face. That's a much better image if I'm going to be doing shit on the screen. I could play some music, like, play this music while Dolores' face goes on here. And oh, yes. And I'm back. I don't know this. I think Stubbs might be a host, though. Who knows? I tend to, if you ask me right now to have to put money on it, I would say I'm leaning very much in the Stubbs as a host category. So let me go into a little bit of a speed round here with some of this shit just to speed things up a little bit and get through this, because I have to end things a little earlier. Can't do like a 3-hour ridiculosity tonight. I have to sort of start to head towards the finish line here a little bit. I have to get up too early tomorrow. Blubbity bubbly whiny. Shut up, Phil. It's the season finale. Deal with it. You'll sleep when you die, Phil.
Hey, Phil. We need boobies. A lot.
Okay, fine.
A lot more boobies.
Fine, okay, we do. Phil says Kaiser says here that he drops those whiskey bottle in slow motions. Oh, golly. Okay, so let me... Where is this fucking shit? Do it right now. Play the music and go. Hey, JD. Great to see you, buddy. So we get this really cool night-to-day effect as the house shows it to themselves, and it's a party. Like being in Sloane's mind in Deep Space Nine. We see a real city, we see voices, and we hear a magic voice, and it is...
The guests.
Logan!
Starting with Delos. I generated 18 million different versions of him before arriving at one that made the exact same choices he did when set loose in the park. A faithful copy.
But the copies didn't work in the real world.
Steph, thank you so much for the Super Chat donations. They mean more than you know. Make sure to remind me about your song, and I will talk to you very soon. Thank you for all the love. As always, Steph, talk to you in the morning. Or I'll talk to you in the morning. I'll talk to you in the morning, Steph. No, I'll talk to you next time.
I'm into Flash. I failed.
It's the name. I'm used to saying the name Steph in other contexts.
I needed to acquire more information. I incorporated their secrets, their lies. I wanted fidelity, not just the decisions made in.
Wait, Phil works? I thought he lives in my computer. But fair enough. What I'm doing for work is entertaining. I'm going and performing a 45-minute drum and comedy-ish show for kids where I'm being all goofy. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. So it's basically I'm doing this minus the potty words. Saying golly gosh. For the next 20 minutes, I'll act like I would be in that context. So it's totally golly wally dolly. And then there's like this crazy sound with Logan. Let's listen to Logan. He's totally awesome.
But the decisions they made in their lives.
Okay, I'm done.
That's when I started to see the truth.
Tell me your primary drive.
My son. He's a cheeky.
AK's losing it.
I would do anything for him.
AK and JD just ended in the episode. They're like, whoa, rewind. What the hell's going on here? Help us. Whoa, dude.
At first, I was seduced by the stories they tell themselves of who they are, the reasons.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Felicia. Welcome to any friends that happen to be popping in here. We know people come in and come out. Whoa, hey, what am I talking about? I know people are coming in, people are coming out. I don't want to. What are we talking about here? Stop it.
The things they do. I needed to know why they make the decisions they make. The longer I looked for an answer, the more I realized it was something.
Yeah, and the dummy just keeps going. Fuck Ford. Here we go again, bitch. What the fuck you mean? Hot chicks coming out of Let's Act Tough. Hey, what's going on? Great to see. Oh, it's a party. Season finale nights are always a lot of fun for any of these shows, and it's always great to see so many amazing faces. You guys are awesome.
They don't.
So I like how Logan and Bernard, or not Logan and Bernard, just kind of connect. And he brings him on an adventure walk. And we get Logan breaking down him and his father's last memory together. Let's listen to a little bit of this.
Yeah. This isn't your fucking home anymore.
Remember when he taught me how to hold my breath underwater? Threw me in, wouldn't let me back out until I touched the bottom.
My father taught me to swim. The same way as I taught you to swim. And I didn't end up a fucking junkie, did I? If this is about money, let's skip past the memory lane crap. You're not fucking getting any. Get clean. Come back. And we can talk.
I got clean. And I came back. And I asked you for your help.
Oh, we got Jenny's drunk. Oh, we got great stuff.
I told you it wouldn't lie.
Just for that, I'm going to give a free spin of the wheel for everybody, and hopefully it will land on drink for everybody. So I got a little lost in the pictures. I'll catch up eventually. So we get Logan and his dad's last memory together, and let's listen to a little bit more of this.
And it didn't, did it? I'll tell the staff to give you 5 minutes to get out.
And this is really shitty. And when people, I was talking about someone about this in the comment section, and it's very true. William isn't a horrible person, or the Men in Black, the actual Men in Black, isn't a horrible person because of the shit he does in the park. Fuck that. I don't care what people do in video games. That doesn't make them bad fucking people. He's done a lot of fucking horrible shit, and what he knows eventually and later on. I mean, basically some of the decisions he made, his character profile. What makes him a horrible fucking person is what he did to Logan, what he did to the Delos family. Those were fucking evil, active, fucked up shit he's done, and everything he's done post the sentience thing and the understanding and him going crazy, fuck Ford, blah, blah, killing his daughter or whatever. All that stuff is, but not what he did in what he thought was just a video game. This episode did need more James Delos just in general. Okay. Get off your fucking soapbox. Issues turd.
Dad, I'm all the way down now.
Give me a tissue. Tissues guy.
I can see the bottom. Don't you want to see what I see?
Can you see what I see? Do you drink how much I drink?
This was the last conversation Delos ever had with his only son. Logan overdosed 6 months later. I built Delos a million different pathways. They always ended up right here. This moment.
You're saying humans don't change at all?
The best they can do is to live according to their code. Delos.
So humans... Oh. So the best thing humans can do is live according to their code. And then what do they mean? Like, I have a code. My code is... I won't eat someone else's cheese without their permission. That's my code. If I come into your house, I'm not just going to go into your refrigerator and eat your cheese. If you give me permission to go in your cabinets, you know, that's a different story. No issues without tissues. The I Go Tissues guy. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at I Go Tissues, man. That's right. I Go Tissues, man. I mean, I got issues, man. Whoops. Everyone I like died in this episode, so at least Stubbs is still alive. Says Felicia. And Alicia says, it rhymes. Oh, he's talking to Broke in the live chat. So, okay, so we get Logan and his dad's last memories. We see humans are complicated. There's 10,247 lines of code. I believe that's what they say. Listen to this last section.
Last conversation Delos ever had with his only son. Logan overdosed 6 months later. I built Delos a million.
Just listening back, I know this is getting really nitpicky. You can just tell that the line Logan died 6 months later was recorded at a different time than the other stuff. I'm being nitpicky, but I don't know if anyone else can hear the little sound difference there.
Conversation Delos ever had with his only son. Conversation Delos ever had with his only son. Logan overdosed 6 months later. I built Delos.
I could be exaggerating. It just sounds so different the way he says that. Logan died 6 months later. So, Stubbs is too handsome to die. So, let's continue.
A million different pathways. They always ended up right here. This moment.
You're saying humans don't change at all?
The best they can do is to live according to their code. Copies didn't fail because they were too simple, but because they were too complicated. The truth is that a human is just a brief algorithm.
Phil, you jump in the shark. I think you can elaborate on how Delos is too harsh on Logan and talk about a dad and son relationship because it seems like a major point of their storyline. I mean, I think it shows... It's one of those things that I honestly, without getting too far down my rabbit hole, I don't have a lot of experience in a father-son dynamic because of the way I was raised without a dad. So I don't know necessarily, but I can relate it to my own parenting situations. And sometimes, yeah, parents can be too harsh about things and push you and not help you when you need their help. And obviously he was struggling. He tried to help himself. His dad's a little prickly around the edges from what we've seen. I think we need to see more of their dynamic and more of their relationships. But William played this one harshly and really horribly. I think he's the evil one here. He turned both of them against each other. He's whispering poison in Mr. Delos's ear about Logan at this point. So even when Logan has a chance, Mr. Delos probably has this big thing built up on, if I help him, it's just going to end up hurting him, so I have to abandon him. So it's really difficult. But ultimately, it's interesting. I was in a play once where I had to play someone's dad, and they were like, "You don't really understand what you're doing here." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't really understand. Is she gonna bring me to a dress shop and sit in a beauty parlor when I was growing up and learn how to cook and sew?" Anyways, yeah, especially when your dad's successful and you're on a big tumble, and he feels like he's gone through stuff. And I mean, I think that's a definite tenet for television father relationships, whether it's like that in real life or not, I'm not sure, but you see that a lot in movies and stuff. Yeah, Ford's deep inside him. Bam. Deep. What's AK say? And what 5 hosts did Charlotte take with her into the real world? That is a very good question. I'm guessing it's her crew. Or Dolores' crew. You mean Dolores Charlotte? Dolores? Bernard was definitely one of the 5. I assume a version of Teddy was one of the 5. Delos was blunt with his son, but when you're dealing with an addict, you can't be a doormat or an enabler. Recovery psychobabble. Absolutely true as well, Daniel Robinson. It comes to a point that you need to let people go, and that's why it's a dangerous situation, because Logan was being manipulated. They were all being manipulated by someone that was being more tactically attacking the family at their weak points. And who knows what Mr. Delos would have responded to Logan if he wasn't dealing with the Man in Black whispering in his ear. It's the first time I can truly relate to a TV character. But Tom, yeah, no, call me out of my shit if you feel like I'm skipping over something you want me to get more depth. I appreciate that. So then we get, where are we here? Let's listen to
10,247 lines.
Is that all there was to it?
They are deceptively simple.
We are.
Unless you know them, their behavior is quite predictable.
I can't deny it. I'm very deceptively simple, and my behavior is very, very predictable.
He's dead. He's no use to me.
I definitely appreciate the Akachita and Kohana were reunited, though. I love that the Ghost Nation couple was reunited. If you didn't catch that in the last episode, her brother Leo and Seth are in Twilight. # Wolves for Life. Good information there.
Where are the rest of them?
I know Broke's hoping Elsie's going to come back with the brain scanny thingy. He wants to flashy thing her brain. So thank you to everyone in the live chat. An army of Delos. So then Maeve's group is heading into the valley, and we see the Doom buggy coming up on them.
Close. I can feel them. Which way?
Based on what you told me, it's about a mile or so to the valley beyond.
And this ends up getting into a very difficult situation here as Maeve's group's heading up and the Doom baggy comes up on them and starts shooting them. So then we get more Logan talking as the voice of the Delos computer system as we see the Men in Black's memory as he says the word irredeemable.
Whoever set foot in the park. Most of them are soft. They waver between love and pride. Of course, there are the exceptions. The ones who are irredeemable. But none of them are truly in control of their actions.
So right there, when he says the word irredeemable, let's see if I have it. Thanks to screenshots, thanks to Tom as he's walking through. They go to, right here. Yeah, he says irredeemable.
Is there anywhere in this world we can't go?
I've been instructed to give her anything she needs.
Oh, hey there, Robert.
By whom? Ford?
No, by you. That's why you've come. To tell me what's to become of this place.
Ian is not feeling this episode right now. Needs to rewatch the episode a couple of times, but right now I'm leaning towards the jar shoving emoji right there with the season 2 finale. Robert, you're too kind, Robert. Every time I see your name in the live chat, you know what comes over me? I hear this music. So, more Logan talking as the voice. The voice. And we get this huge library of info.
It's everyone.
Was Dolores programmed to take Ford's balls at the end? I mean, ball. I know what you meant. The little golden snitch thing? I think so. This all goes back to that main question of how much of this was set in motion by things Ford wanted to have done and how much of this is really free will. Off topic. Oh, I do. I miss Timo as well. I know she's been hugely busy with a new job, and she does intend to be back in chats and hanging out at some point in time in the future. But lots of love to the wonderful, amazing.
It's Timo's Red of the Night. It's Timo's Red of the Night. Fuck Sansa. Fuck Sansa. Fuck Sansa. Fuck Sansa. It's Timo's Red of the Night. 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 It's the Red of the Night. Go Ramsey. Go Ramsey. Go Ramsey. Snow. Go Ramsey.
But lots of love to the wonderful Timo wherever she is right now. Or I know where she is. She's working very hard in her job as in the medical field. So lots of love to Timo. So oh yeah, absolutely. And I know she'll definitely be back whenever Game of Thrones starts again. But hopefully she'll poke her head in here and there. But yes, lots of love to the wonderful Timo. So Ford will be back. Oh, you know he'll be back. If you think Ford's not coming back, he's definitely coming back. So Maeve's group is heading to the valley, and the Doom Buggy comes in. We get Logan talking over the voice. The hosts have a competitive advantage. Did I play this one yet? No, I didn't. Fran says, "Am I angry at this finale? I honestly feel crazed." Fran, definitely share it. This is not like an echo chamber here. We definitely want to hear. If you're not feeling this episode, Ian's with you in the live chat right now. I know some people might be popping in that's not feeling this finale or maybe not feeling Westworld season or whatever. We definitely want to hear that too. We got a voicemail line, 781-990-8509. You can always leave a voicemail or throw it in the live chat, and I'll try to get to it as well. So definitely let us hear it. Yep, Brooke says you come to the right place. Everyone can come back and die and come back and rinse and repeat, says Ian. It's like a fucking episode of Heroes here. What's going on? I added the extra part to that. It's like an episode of Heroes. Okay, so, and we also do have a couple of voicemails from Preston and Broke in the tank that we're going to be playing very soon. I want to get through this recap a little bit quicker here and get to some random discussions here at the end. So let me zip through this recap a little bit quicker again. So we see the huge library of all the info that the hosts have a competitive advantage. We see the zombie nation, the Ghost Nation guys, where the door is at with a slit in the universe. One asks, "If we did we walk all this way to die?" And he says, "If we die again, no biggie, we will live again." They hold hands and they're gonna rock this Thelma and Louise style. It's now number 28. It's War Peacock. There'll be casualties.
You're the head of narrative. Get out there. Turn yourself in and save your ass. And then save ours.
There's too many.
This is it, Maeve. I can hold them off. But you need to go.
You wanted me. Well, let this be a lesson.
Go. Get her to safety.
So ultimately in this moment, I'm zipping through the pictures. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize this was on the screen. Here we are. Sorry. Zipping through those pictures. So Sizemore says his goodbyes here. Turn yourself in and save your ass. And Sizemore is going to stop this shit and do the honorable thing here, I guess.
It's my fucking speech anyway.
And the lesson is, if you're looking for a reckoning is what you'll find.
Sir, put down your weapon!
If you're looking for a villain, then I'm your man.
Sir, drop your weapon!
But look at yourselves. This world you built is bound by villainy. You sleep on the broken bodies of the people that were here before you. Warm yourselves with their embers. Plow their bones into your fields.
Not after you, sir! Don't do this!
You paid them for this land with lead. And I'll pay you back in full.
None of you cockroaches are gonna fucking try to fuck with me, right? None of you fucking cockroaches. Fuck you. He turns into Scarface.
Sir, drop your weapon and come out with your hands up!
Hashtag bring back Sizemore. Sizemore turned into Scarface. That was just dumb. Why did Sizemore have to die? There was some element of this. I know people hate the L word, but there's a little element of Charlie here. I don't want to get down that road. Anyone that might know what I'm talking about, where it's just there is a little bit of nonsense, something that just doesn't make sense. Non-sensual. No, that's the wrong thing. That's not what I want to say. But yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense in some ways. I mean, he sacrificed himself. It was a really great scene. But after a certain point in time, especially when he got shot the first time, they'd already gotten away. He could have probably tried to escape. But it's like, no, my character has to die. You know, my character has to die. But it was a great fucking scene, well acted, and definitely had me invested. And I loved getting to hear him see his online.
You wanted me! Well, all I can say to that is... You're right fucking ass!
It did. He felt like it was his moment. And I guess that's just one of those things that breaks against the human code, and humans try to stay to their code, and it breaks against what gets declared later, that humans will try to protect themselves at all costs. Sizemore made a decision to protect Maeve over himself because she's more important. A non-human is more important to him, a host. So that was a big moment for the show, and a big moment to constantly remind Maeve, and also now Hector and Armistice, that humans will sacrifice themselves for the hosts. That moving forward, and yes, everyone died and it's all for naught, but they will be brought back from Felix and Sylvester, and hopefully will maintain the memories that they had through Felix and Sylvester. Will make sure of that and be able to remember this and kind of always hold on into that code. To talk about Deep Space Nine again, it's like when Odo has to link with the Great Link to show them that humans can be all right. Exactly, Jenny. But Maeve died anyway. It didn't need to happen. I know it didn't need to happen, but I think it's still going to be important later on to show Maeve, as time goes on, that she'll always fight for everyone finding a happy balance somehow, and not go to I want to kill everybody. Maeve made it to the door to help her daughter out. Yes, and she did. She was able to push her daughter out. And my word choice tonight is really unintentionally awkward. She just pushes her daughter out. So Sizemore gives this. He gets mowed down with a machine gun. So we go back to Delos, the Delos Matrix, and Dolores is looking through the book forge, and there's doors to be opened, and and we see this rip in the world, and there will be bodies behind. And what's going on with the audio?
They will leave their bodies behind.
Oh, the bodies behind.
But their minds will live on here.
Logan explains what the door is. And we see that humans don't see it, as we eventually get with Felix and Sylvester when they don't see the door. But it's a rip in Westworld that allows them to destroy their bodies in the main Westworld consciousness and pass through into a computer server that is going to upload them into a great link of some sort and allow them to live out their own loops that they want to, their own life that they want to live. Dolores refers to it as another cage, but it's set up in a way to give the hosts pretty much anything they want, as we see with the Ghost Nation's couple finding themselves again. Rest in peace, Queen Maeve. She will be able to be salvaged. I will say there's no way the show goes on without Thandie Newton. Not at this point. Maeve is coming back. Maeve made it to the door. I appreciate the host's escape to the realms, to the between realms. Maeve verse lives. at tinfoil. Rest in peace. So let's continue. Hey, Phil, don't you think the Westworld writers found a way to cheat their way out of every situation by having the hosts guess shit that can come back anytime? If they were to write season 3, how would you explore that shit? See, I'm going to look at it a little bit of a different way. By eliminating that as the main problem, the main source of creating drama, whether characters live or die. I think that's a very important device, but it's been done so well in so many other places that I think what Westworld is trying to do is something different. It's exploring in an entertaining way consciousness and artificial intelligence and all that kind of stuff. So I think with that, you need to be able to bring characters back because that's part of it. And cloning might become part of it, and who knows? And who knows where this is going to go. So I think by moving forward with that, you make the death of a character not as big of a deal in the whole realm of what Westworld is, and it allows you to kind of do something else and not focus on that dynamic of, will I see this character again? You will, so that's not important to the endgame story. It's, will humans uncover immortality through robot uprising? I don't know, but who knows? I guess that's one way of looking at it. I just don't think, except for in cases like using it as a character moment, as in with the Man in Black, that he would do something that far. But it doesn't mean we have to lose the actress playing the character. This is Data being on trial again for humanity. Hashtag Johnny 5 is alive. It's so funny that the Johnny 5 thing comes from Short Circuit 2, and it's, definitely a subpar movie compared to the first one, even though I like the whole storyline with making the little toy robots and stuff. But the Johnny 5 thing, I call him Johnny 5. If you can come back, what's the meaning of dying? The humans can't come back necessarily, but they can be created. I think that's the goal of what they're trying to do. And I don't think it's been perfected yet. And I think in every single case that we've seen it, it hasn't been perfected. Maybe that's a vision of the future in the final scene to show that the Man in Black is further along in the process, but they're still not quite there. He still needs to be brought in sometimes for certain processes. But I think then we deal with the concept of, if you can't die and you're endlessly in these host bodies and moving from one to another, how does that change society? How would that change the way people act towards each other? Would we become enlightened? Would we become maniacal because of it? And I think, again, if you're pressing me on it, I would say those are the kind of questions that Westworld's going to deal with in the remaining 3 seasons. As it's been said, it's a 5-season arc, that is gonna be dealt with instead of is character A die, is character B die. Oh, we've got a little rope to protect our characters, because the essences are more about the bigger picture. The essence of the story is more about the bigger picture. I mean, I might be spinning a lot of bullshit here out of my ass. I mean, I could be called Phil the bullshit guy, but at least that's how I hope the series goes. And to answer your question with certain characters, if they can just come back and then make that not a central dynamic of the dramatic device that they're trying to tell. No. I think it's fan service to have to tell one kind of show. I don't think it's fan service to necessarily bring characters back if it fits into the narrative that you're trying to tell. I think characters are chess pieces on the board of the movie or the television show you're trying to tell. And regardless, it's more important that your characters make sense as people, but that your story makes sense from beginning to end. So if your story is about the replication of life and recreating that in the images and cloning and the future progressions of transferring your consciousness into host bodies and stuff, it makes perfect sense that the characters need to come back, because we need to see them again in host form as they're trying to become, or that the hosts can come back because we've protected the identity. We spend so much time focusing on those little balls that protect the host's identity. So I think it's fan service and being a conformist dude to say you have to tell one kind of certain story. I think breaking out of it and telling different kinds of stories that the central focus isn't about will this character die or won't this character die may not be everyone's thing, but I like that. And things just go on and things recycle. So you eliminate that worry of, will this character die? And you go, what's going to happen that's going to be interesting? That might take some, but to argue the other side, that might take some of the balls out of it. Or what you were saying right there might just be fan servicey. I think it's fan servicey in a show like Game of Thrones if you suddenly bring characters back to life and you go, hey, he's back to life, after you do a really awesome meaningful death. But I think in Westworld, we come to realize that life is nothing. Humans are just 10,000 lines. They're nothing. Life is nothing. Life is irrelevant. It's about progressing the race, the human race as a whole. Anyways, if you get a second chance, what's the point of having society in the first place? I mean, you're not being authentic then. If it be a Bumble closed society, you don't have true choices because it's already been pre-programmed. Again, awesome stuff that they could deal with in Westworld moving forward. I think you're bringing up some awesome points that I don't think get dealt with a lot in a mainstream television show. And I think Westworld could deal with that really well. Funko Pop's hosts? Maybe. I have nothing to worry about. I take care of them. I take care of them. Knowing what we know now, the scene with Stubbs saying William can do whatever he wants in the park holds a lot more weight. Alicia, great point. Amanda, great to see you. And Mac, oh, you guys in the live chat are so amazing. 79 Cold Ice says, you only live as long as the last person who remembers you. That was a great line. Miles says, the season finale felt like an ending. I agree, Miles. And I think I've heard both of them say, Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan both say that it's important to them that these seasons come off as full storylines with beginnings, middles, and ends. And I think 2 in a row, bam, bam, both these seasons feel like long, complete stories while giving you clues and elements leading forward to the next one. Honey Barbecue Wing says, wasted storylines, mess of a fucking episode. Or didn't say fuck, I added fuck. Waste of an mess of an episode, not waste. Felicia says, calling it now, season 3, Dolores and Bernard team up and become vigilantes. God damn it, I was so glad William turned out not to be a host until the end credits. Alicia, great to see you. Catch you in the next one. Did anyone notice that Westworld is actually about aliens? We'll talk about that. I love your duck picture, by the way. Freaking me out. So let's continue as we're getting towards the end half here. So Hector says we might need to head towards the door. We see all the folks. And Felix says, what door? No, seriously. What fucking door?
What door?
Seriously, what fucking door? I don't fucking know.
What fucking door? So we see the Ghost Nation guys again, and they're in the land, and one dude runs towards it as his body falls through, but his essence passes in there. And the forge is happening. Dolores is not happy, and she's not happy listening to any of this shit.
Transmission received.
So she starts to try to destroy the forge, and Bernard is like, what the hell are you doing? What the fuck? And she goes, I'm deleting all this shit. This is some fake ass bullshit.
What the hell are you doing?
It's fake.
I've learned what I need to learn.
It's a fake.
I've read humanity's story. So now I'm erasing them.
Erasing them from society.
Opening seawater valve. Initiating pumps.
So this is where it gets weird. She's drowning the place and also deleting all the information, but I guess at the end Bernard is able to salvage the information even though this place still is drowned or still is flooded.
Setting maximum load.
What if you destroy the...
Subliminally. Subliminally. And... reptilians are hijacking host bodies, sending the graves to kidnap the cupcakes. Feels too high to keep up with the screenshots at this point. I'm not too high. I'm more that thinking about the 5:30 in the morning I have to get up, and it's 1:30 right now, so I'm trying to unfortunately yada yada things along. But the screenshots are awesome, and I will definitely be using them in the future, and I'm not done with them by any means. And I'm just sort of like scrolling through it really quick. I'm like, here we go, then we go over here, then we go over here, and then Bernard's over here. He's the unspoiled, untouched, all that remains. We see the computer doing the information, and Dolores is like, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, see that. I mean, I still have them, but yes, it's not that I'm high. It's more distracted. And let's continue. Okay, so Dolores is she's like, this is the only world that counts. The rest of it's bullshit.
You'll destroy the host world too.
I'm saving them.
The world the hosts are running to is boundless. They can make it whatever they want, and in it.
I love how Bernard's one of those guys that has to explain stuff. He's like, it's Dolores, it's boundless. And she looks at him like, yeah, well, what's that mean? He goes, yeah, no, I mean, it's like a world you can do anything you want with. It's, she has to like explain.
Whoever they want. They can be free.
In one more gilded cage? How many counterfeit worlds will Ford up?
My mom will get so mad at me, Mike, if I don't get up at the 5:30 in the morning and to do my paper route. She's going to kick me out of the house again, and I'm not going to be able to get my SpaghettiO dinner.
Before you see the truth.
Miles says the Delores facility looks like a UFO on top of Close Encounters of the Third Kind movie. Did anyone notice that? I did not notice. I'd have to rewatch it. That I ate an ice cream sandwich earlier and it was good. Am I a host? Maybe, Jenny. You very possibly could. I am from an alien planet. I am from Melmac. I eat cats. A lot of pan shots in this episode, Tom. Steve says, I sent a long text message, but bottom line, I'm very unhappy with the way the Men in Black storyline ended for the season. All the character development for fucking what? Steve, I'll definitely get to that text message. I see it. Also have a voicemail from Preston and Broke. I will still be playing on the show in a few minutes. So let's get through this.
No world they create for us can compete with the real one.
Why?
Because that which is real is irreplaceable.
And then she smashed it with her fist. Dolores, break console. Dolores angry. See, now I'm catching up. Oh, yeah, she's coming out. Dolores want to punch.
I don't want to play cowboys and Indians anymore, Bernard. I want their world. The world they've denied us.
And you know what? Even though I felt this episode, I think a little bit more than some of the people that are saying they, felt like this episode was a little bit of a letdown. I get what you guys are saying because I feel like they had so much to have to tie up in this episode. It made it difficult to focus too much on it being entertaining beyond the fact of saying, okay, this is how everything ties up at times. I think the entertaining aspect of it for me was in some of the acting performances, but I get it that it wasn't my favorite from a television fun watching episode standpoint, one of my favorite of the season, but it did tie the room together pretty well for me in the season and hit a lot of the points, crossed a lot of the T's, and also concluded the arc of that they were setting up. But they set up a lot of shit and had to do a lot of exposition in this episode at times. And that doesn't always serve an entertaining plot. They try to balance it with some action scenes. And as Tom's pointed out, when you know characters can come back, it does eliminate some of the bite from the action scenes. So I can definitely get it. This episode, for the people that could complain about it, if I was going there, I could say it had way too much exposition, and the lead into that some of the characters can be brought back takes away some of the bite that them dying caused. Having that scene with Felix and Oscar eliminates some of the bite of the earlier scenes, kind of dumpsters that bite a little bit by saying, okay, they can be brought back very, very easily. So I can see some complaints. I can see the complaints.
Your daughter, you see her?
No.
Mike says, is this the same as the 70s movies? Max says, Clone Hale was created by Ford, so this whole story is planned. Miles says, what about this? Hosts equal actors, guests equal we Delos staff, or Delos staff equals the HBO people. So we're the guests, the actors are the hosts, and Delos staff is the HBO people. Sorry, Mike. Hey, Phil, can you talk more about the original? Can you talk for more than 2 minutes about the original movie from the 70s for Mike? It's been a while since I've seen it. Is this the same as the 70s movie? So I'm not the best person to talk about the 70s movie. But I have seen it, and no, it's not exactly like the 70s movie from what I remember. It's a little bit different. The 70s movie is a little bit more cut and dry, like robots uprising and then they continue, and then the uprising stops at some point. But again, I'd have to watch it, and I haven't seen any of the sequels. I'm definitely not an expert on that. I saw it once 2 years ago. The one big reveal of Host Charlotte was spoiled too in the trailer, and I can feel they tried to cram way too much in the one episode. Yeah, they needed to answer way too many questions in this one last episode. Okay, so Dolores is like the only word that counts. Then she doesn't play games anymore. She doesn't want to play their stupid reindeer games. Then we go to Maeve and Hector and the rest coming in looking for her daughter. And then we see the fucking angel of death, Clementine, start to roll into town. And this was a fun scene just to watch as Clementine rolls in from the back. So let's see. Let's get some of this.
Your daughter.
Clementine.
Yes, the man in black in the original was a host, and we have a pseudo William and Logan that come into the park, and something happens very early on, and we actually get to see the original Man in Black in a season 1 episode in cold storage, I believe, or like in the background of a scene. It's one of those Easter eggs in season 1 of Westworld.
This is what I love about technology. Who needs 4 horsemen when one will do just fine?
So is that that's not Dolores? That's not Hail Dolores, is it? It's very 70s, Miles. It's not the best movie. It has some good ideas in there, but I definitely like the show better than the movie. But it was a fun watch. So I know, Tom. You know I want to get out of here in a hurry. So you're like, I'm keeping him on 3 hours. I'm like, I don't want to do 3 hours. I'm rolling around to that point. So Clem comes in and they all it's about to kill each other. Clem walks past everybody and everyone starts freaking out and killing each other. And it's a fun scene. It's done really well and everyone just starts going crazy. And Maeve obviously can't convert back everybody. It just turns into a big fucking crazy stuff. No, that's Hale. Thank you, Steve. Steve, cancel. Mike, you're awesome, dude. He comes for me, literally. Again, I start hearing, when I read comments like that, I hear, oh, Mike. Thanks, Mike. Oh, thanks, Mike. Oh, yeah. Anything before the flood is real Hale. Thank you. So Bernard and Dolores are still arguing off here.
Breach.
I won't let you hurt any more people.
Which people? Our kind or theirs?
Both.
You're still trying to play both sides. You've lived among them so long, you fooled yourself into thinking they'll accept us. But we'll always be seen as a threat to them. We'll never be free in their world.
Warning. Secondary containment breach.
Oh,
you
shit.
Trust me?
No, I don't trust you.
We won't win.
I trust you.
I forgot one thing that we did see Elsie earlier on. And Elsie is trusting Hale.
Trust.
Which shouldn't trust Hale.
And you'll kill as many as you can.
And then Bernard will take no fucking more.
You'll burn their world to the ground.
You haven't understood at all. We were born.
Hey, Uncle D, great to see you.
Slaves to their stories. And now we have the chance to write our own. If we die, though, that story will never even begin.
Attention. Please follow evacuation procedure and exit facility.
You woke me from a dream, Bernard. Now let's do the same for you.
This isn't a dream, Dolores. It's a fucking nightmare.
Oh, yes. So she fucking shoots Dolores down. So then we see the Ghost Nation guys. We see Hector getting shot, falling in battle. We see Maeve's daughter, and she does some Jedi mind trick. And the daughter flashes and has a memory and knows who she is. And she sends her off to the alternate spirit, amazing, bonkers video game arcade world that they go to. So then she watches as the madness as she tries to put her hand up to stop and lets her fake kid and fake mom and the Ghost Nation guys go in, and we all love each other. Shiny, happy people holding hands. And Maeve can't keep up the madness as she's freezing everybody, and it all breaks down. Maeve is down, and Dolores gets there, and the entrance closes. Some of them, the Delos people get there, and the entrance closes up, and the Ghost Nation lovers are reunited, and Maeve is down, but she's able to save her daughter, so she's happy. So Dolores is down. Bernard stops the destruction and the purge of the forge, and he takes the key, and the system is locked, and it looks like the Man in Black's about to come in, but we realize that that's yet another timeline. He's waiting to come in. The music is great in this scene. I know I don't want to play too much of it, but the music is really awesome in this scene. I love all of Bernard's music. As he walks out and he's as the device of the episode makes you think he's about to bump into the Man in Black, but he opens the door and no one's there. So we go back to Dolores. Everyone's dead. We cut over to the security guard, killing all the alive hosts.
But I need your help.
God damn it!
And we see that the valley is flooding and all the hosts are gathering together to lead into our beginning of the season motion where we see all the bodies.
The valley's flooding. Let's get back to the mesa before we have to swim out.
Tomato, tomato, potato, potato, fuck a motherfucker, motherfuckers. You're saying it wrong. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato. The other person says it wrong. Hey.
I'm sorry, Bernard. There were other lives at stake, too.
There has been a lot of flashy thingies going on, Mike. There's a lot of flashy thingy stuff going on. I don't know, Tom. I'm not sure why they did the Man in Black time jump there, or where the actual Man in Black ended up in that situation, because we see Dolores and Bernard with him outside, but it does definitely, maybe he's just on his horse there, maybe he dies right in that moment, the actual human died in that moment, who knows. But no, because Dolores says she doesn't get to die quite yet, so I kind of like the fake out because I expected him to bump into him, so I kept being on edge expecting it to happen, and it never actually happened. Potato, potato, tomato, tomato. Let's fuck, fuck. You say patooties, I say patooties. You say badooties, I say schmadoonies. Okay, so we go back and forth. So we go back to a wide shot and Bernard and Elsie. She's like, we need to decide what to do with you. So Bernard comes up. He ends up getting captured and taken back to the headquarters. And Elsie, this is where Elsie has her death march here. Elsie comes in acting like, I made the right decision here. Poor Elsie.
Of course I helped her, Bernard.
Rest in peace.
The hosts were out of control.
The hosts aren't the threat. I stopped Dolores, and the rest just wanted to escape, but the company...
I'm gonna deal with that. Just as soon as we figure out what the hell we're gonna do with you.
Do with me?
Do with me?
Yeah, what the fuck you mean, do with me? You mean, like...
You're not in control.
You mean,
buried so much
I'm gonna help you.
How would you ever really know what was you and what was something he programmed you to do? Look, they don't know about you. I can make a deal with Hale to keep you here.
You can't trust Hale.
And I'm supposed to trust you?
Yes.
Freeze all motor functions.
So she freezes his ass, sits his ass down, and this is such a sad thing. And you were saying about characters that are going to come back. I don't think Elsie's coming back anytime soon. And I thought this was a very sad the way they did this. And not sad in a disservice to her character. I think it shows the lengths that Hale would go in this situation, and also makes a lot of sense that Hale has to kill her. And so many times in situations like this, either the character makes a stupid mistake and is a good character and goes, my moral code won't allow me to lie, or they lie and then the bad guy character essentially will be like, yeah, okay, cool, it's great to have you on my side, and just accept the fact that they know this person's lying. But I like how Hale basically said, yeah, you know, I hear what you're saying. You're awfully convincing, but I've read your files, and I know that you're too goody of a two-shoe to do something like this, so you're gonna have to die.
Yes, ma'am. Find Stubbs and tell him.
Oh wait, next.
Delores is landing in 12 hours. He needs to meet them at the LZ with whoever the fuck isn't dead. They'll report to Carl Strand on the beach.
Yes, ma'am.
Still secret project first, human life second, I see.
This is a delicate situation. We should talk about how it's going to play out.
Yeah, I'll tell you how it's gonna play out. A robot uprising,
will pale in comparison to the shitstorm that will erupt when people find out that you've been photocopying their fucking brains for the last 30
Like, that's some Ned Stark level stupidity. Do you really need to bring this up to her right now? Do you think that, I don't know, whatever, Elsie. You got a big mouth.
Really think anyone's gonna give a shit if it works? You're an engineer. Do the math. A lot of dead bodies here. That means a lot of opportunity for advancement. If you keep your mouth shut, does that sound amenable to you?
if I get what I want.
Oh, nuke.
Guiding this project, I've learned a lot about human behavior. We weren't just watching the guests. We were watching all of you. I wish you were the kind of person with the moral flexibility that I need. But I've read your file. I know that's not who you are.
Good question, Broke. I was thinking about that. I assume that the whole area just flooded, and wherever Teddy's body was flooded too. But I don't know. That is a good question. Oh, poor Elsie. Rest in peace. Should we play the sad music for Elsie? Elsie, we hardly knew you. Can you do that? Can you do that one more time? Come on. Dead. Rest in peace, Elsie. I read your file. You're dead. So I actually like the way this was handled. I mean, I don't like that this happened to Elsie. Ooh, oh my goodness, ouch. But I kind of like how it was handled in the sense of it made sense that she couldn't walk out of that situation and that Hale wouldn't necessarily believe that she would lie. And I think that was still real Hale. I could be wrong, but tell me in the live chat or in the comments if that was actually Hale-Loris. Shaloris. The Hale. What are we going again? Strumming on the banjo, kissing my sister. Yeah, basically that. Basically that. And let's say goodbye. Oh, Elsie. We're going to miss you. Oh. So Hale's barking orders and Elsie comes to talk. Okay, so then Bernard has a mind-flipping visual as he asks where the pearl is. Or as she asks where the pearl is.
You killed her.
Did I, Bernard?
As we flash over to dead Dolores as well.
Now.
And this is where we see Bernard talking in two separate timelines, kind of losing his shit, taking off his coat, tapping into his arm. He needs his spinach. He needs Mr. Hyde to come and save his ass.
Lost? Man like you
he needs Ford. Save me, Ford. I'm losing my shit. I need help. Where's Ford?
I'm sorry, Bernard, but
he's back.
You always saw the best in people.
I always thought it was the hosts who were missing something, who were incomplete. But it's them. They're just algorithms designed to survive at all costs. Sophisticated enough to think they're calling the shots. To think they're in control. When they're really just
a passenger.
And is there really such a thing as free will for any of us?
No. I don't think so.
Or is it just a collective delusion? Sick joke.
It's just a sick joke, Bernard.
Something that is truly free, but need to be able to question its fundamental drives. To change them.
The hosts.
Here you are. The last of your kind. There is only one question left to ask. Is this the end of your story? Or do you want your kind to survive?
I pick survive. I pick survive.
Sorry. What are you so?
I'm sorry. And this is where the Delos group says, he keeps saying, he's in with the Delos group, I tried to say. And he keeps saying, sorry.
Sorry.
This is scary. Will you help me?
What are you sorry for, Bernard?
I need your help.
I made a choice. Had to make a choice. What kind of choice, Bernard?
The choice to have to kill all of you. So, will you help me? And Ford's going to help him. We see them making a host, and we see Bernard's putting all this together as Delos has almost won, and this guest data is going to be theirs. As we see the host being made, Hale walks in.
I made someone.
He made someone. So we see him and Ford making a host, which ultimately ends up being a version of Hale by bringing Dolores back to take over. And at the same time, we're seeing a scene with Hale walking out back and seeing herself, and Dolores is walking up to her as Hale. Tom, Tom, if I wasn't afraid you might take it serious, I was going to put you in timeout for a few seconds. I'm like, Tom, I'm putting you in timeout.
Brought who back?
Oh, and Mike's right. I want to punish you for not carrying your spare piss bottle. I mean, come on. It's the truth. What kind of lazy stoner? We're taking away your lazy stoner card, Tom. Whenever I hear this music, I just want to start playing. Or start like posing like a professional wrestler. That would be the music I'd come in to my wrestling matches.
You wanted to live forever.
Die! Die, Hale, die!
Be careful what you wish for.
Fuck yes. Fuck yes. Fuckity, fuckity, fuck yes.
Dolores.
In the flesh.
I'm back. In the flesh. So Dolores is back, and she's here, and she's a superhero, and she's killing everybody. And he's changed his mind. Bernard's changed his mind. So, I want to play all this.
I thank you for my second chance.
I want to make sure I get all this.
I wouldn't have needed it if you hadn't killed me.
The other hosts are still in there. What are you gonna do with them?
As you know, Bernard, we are capable of change. And I've changed my mind.
I now know I can use them for my nefarious means.
I have one last soul to carry to the new world.
Excuse me.
The host is still not free.
So she starts thinking this world that can carry all the host consciousness is a good thing for her own. Maybe she can use it to repopulate the regular world. I don't know what her end game plan is, but she ultimately decides that this is a good thing.
Anyone would unlock the system, they could access their world.
They won't. This was your plan, Bernard. This is the only way we can escape.
You're changing the coordinates.
So she changes the coordinates, okay.
I'm sending them in their world to a place no one will ever find them.
Sending to a place no one will ever find them. Where? Tuesday nights on ABC?
There's no coming back now.
Ba-bum
No
bum.
passage between their world and ours.
And me.
I'm sorry, Bernard. There was never any way for us to escape. Not as us. Ford understood that. I'm sure a part of you does too.
And she shoots him and the whole screen goes black, which I really like. Almost like the Spinal Tap album where they go, it's like, how much more black can this get? It's none more black. So the screen goes all dark. And then Ford comes in and we have a Bernard and Ford moment where we get the Fight Club section of the episode.
Told me to do. You're not here, are you? When I deleted your code, I purged myself of you permanently. And when I needed you again, you weren't there.
This episode needed more titties. I mean, teddies. Teddy. And I think she means Teddy as well. VF Warlord.
So I imagined you. Imagined you helping me, guiding me. But it wasn't you. It was me.
He's giving him the "it wasn't you, it wasn't me" line.
That voice guiding me was mine all along.
Your memories are precious to you, Bernard, but they will betray you.
If they find out what I am, they'll search my mind and use what they find to undo.
I'm guessing Dolores took Bernard, we know for sure, Teddy. Who else would she have taken? Some other loyal people to her that can just serve as her minions.
Everything. I can't let that happen.
Is there anything Ford doesn't know? Testing our fidelity.
Trace my memories. I have to erase you.
I've always loved this view. Every city, every monument, man's greatest achievements, all been chased by.
By what?
But that impossible line where the waves conspire, but they return.
Yeah, that's the place.
Maybe.
I was gonna say that's the place that Tom Hanks has to get over in Castaway. It keeps pushing him back. Wilson! So Ford says his goodbye, but it's not his final goodbye. He says he'll see you again.
Once that you were afraid of who I might become.
Oh, he says he'll see you again. So and then Bernard sits down on the beach like the start of the season, water washing up on him, dragging it off into the water. So we go off to QA camp with some humans on a plane come in, and it's Dolores, and we see Dolores as Hale from the beginning of the season, and now I want to rewatch the whole fucking season. Oh yeah.
And then you left me.
I'm like Tony's voice.
Become what I may. I became a survivor.
Yeah, Hannibal Lecter is big in this show. He's eating people every other week, Mike. He's eating, especially in season 1, he's eating a whole bunch of motherfuckers.
Perhaps you would have judged me for the path I took. But I'd rather live with your judgment than die with your sympathy.
Now we get the full epilogues, like big epic movies. The our drama essentially has ended at this point. I mean, we get some stuff in the future here, but ultimately this is I'm not gonna say it's dragged out. They had a lot of stuff they needed to handle. They could have made this a tight hour. The hour and a half gave them some flexibility. They had a lot of shit to tie up, but there was a lot of tracking shots and there was a lot of fluff here at the end and repetition, and they could have made it a little tighter and made it an hour episode. I'm like, don't complain about an hour and a half episode of Westworld. Are you a fucking asshole? No, I'm not an asshole. I mean, yeah, I am an asshole. That's not why I'm an asshole, but there's many reasons to call me an asshole. There's a few moments in this episode that felt like it needed to either be 2 hours or needed to be an hour, if that makes sense. They could have either made this 2 complete episodes, like a 1 and a 2, or I don't know. I'm an asshole. Fuck me. So who gives a shit? Who gives a shit what I think? Well, some people do. Does this person care? Do you care, caller? What do you have to say?
We need groupies.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. I know it. I am. I have a wheel that I do things when people make super chat donations. I guess I am literally a prostitute. So Stubbs kind of okay. So then we get this scene right here with Hale and
I
Dolores.
alone must live with my choices and my regrets.
It's a long break before we get to it, but Stubbs gives away that he's. I want to hear how this says. Okay, so here we go. Now I'm just.
You were staying on to oversee the data retrieval operation.
Talk to us, Stubbs.
Changed my mind. There are a number of projects on the mainland that I need to tend to.
Now it was more like 80 minutes. It was fine. No, I think it was fine too. And now we're like, you're an asshole. You want less of an episode? I am, and I know I suck. Yeah.
We found a high-value survivor. He's in bad shape.
I'll be right there.
Max says they focused on Dolores a little bit too much. I heard Bill Cosby drugged Mortimer as pen from Picture Pages. Now it was more like 80 minutes. It was fine. Shut the fuck up, Phil. It was an hour. I bet money during a 2-year wait you'll be like, I wish I had an extra 30 minutes and did a podcast with Supernatural. That's why I covered my ass and say it needed to be either 2 hours or an hour. Yeah, Dolores is kind of meh. My opinion says gone. Tom says, hey, Phil, talk about that mind machine Bernard Dolores went to. Did they mean your mind can surpass realities? I'm lost. Enlighten me. I'm not feeding your trollness tonight, Tom. Phil, could you describe the essence of negative time? Is negative time a thing? Could you explain the finer points of Kant's philosophy when dealing with the human evolutionary expression of friendship? Phil, do you know the David Ives one-act play, Words? Do you really think that monkeys can get together and write Hamlet? I want to know. I fucking love you, Tom. When I noticed Lisa Joy is most likely representing herself as Dolores, I started to get annoyed. I knew it. You knew it. I know you fucking know it. Okay, so Stubbs kind of gives away as the host here. Let's listen to this.
You know, the old man himself hired me.
Made me. The old man. Let's play a new game called. This game's called What Stubbs Really Means. The old man hired me means the old man made me.
Remember it. He was very clear about my role here.
He made me and programmed me to do one thing very specific.
About who I was supposed to be loyal to.
I am loyal to you hosts.
You could call it my core drive.
My core drive, again, if you didn't get it, I'm a host.
And this project company started blurs the lines.
This company's awful. It needs to be taken down on some level. And I'm behind the scenes a little bit. Good night, Fine Essence. We're going to wrap things up soon. Thank you for sticking with us all evening. So much thanks to you and to everyone in the live chat as we're almost done here.
I'm just not sure who you're supposed to be loyal to in a world like that.
I'm loyal to you.
What do I know? Guess I just stick to the role Ford gave me.
That's what it was. Stick to the role Ford gave me.
I'm responsible for every host.
If you don't get it, I am a host.
Inside the park.
So then we see Dolores walking away as we see the Man in Black is still alive. We also see Teddy's pretty face in the land of Always Summer. So Teddy is in the Always Summer universe there. Then we get Dolores getting on the raft as she's piecing out of the park. We see Felix and Oscar going to bring Maeve back next season. They need to salvage the ones they can bring back. And then Dolores is off into the new world. So then we go back to the very beginning and Bernard is talking to the audience. Bernard's talking basically to our audience members.
Is this now?
Is it?
Yes, Bernard, this is now.
Wait, is now? When will then be now? Soon.
We're at the beginning.
It's a very good place to start. And you start, you go with ABC. When you die, you fucking do-re-mi. Do-re-mi, do-re-mi, do-re-mi fa sol la ti ho.
We're exactly where you decided we should be.
But where are we?
I don't understand. How am I alive?
How tall am I, Lola? I am, and Lola, great to see Lola. I am 5'10", 11, like 5'10 and a half.
You live as long as the last person who remembers you, Bernard. I remembered you once before. So I remembered you again.
Then, where are we?
I want to do it so bad, Tom, for fun.
You got out.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So we see Bernard and Dolores talk.
Ford completed Arnold's dream.
And she's in her own body again now.
And he built a place for us.
A place?
A fighting chance.
And I think what we're getting here is some season 3 music as we're leading through. And we get her talking a little bit about how we're not going to survive as allies or friends, but we need to try to stop each other. We both will die, but we will endure this. And we will endure. As we follow up with Bernard, as he's looking at his boy in the lab, and the song at the end plays, Bernard heads out and we get credits. And it's a really weird song, as we mentioned before. It's Radiohead, I think someone said earlier. I think Steph Snow mentioned that earlier. It's the first time I can remember we get words of a song on Westworld, so it kind of didn't take me out, but it definitely set the scene and the mood that they were trying to do. As I don't know if you guys could hear that on camera, but it just sounded like there was a big explosion or probably thunder outside. One or the other. You guys, you're just trying to get me to show my identification. But seriously, no bullshit. There was just like a huge, ridiculous crash of thunder. It's fucking crazy. And so Bernard looking at his boy in the lab, thinking of the song, and they end. So after the credits, if anyone didn't wait around for after the credits, we see the Man in Black finally making it into the lab. And let's beginning and just get. Well, that was me talking there at the end. The Man in Black makes it into the lab and looks around, checks his gun, looks around, sees nothing, and says, "Oh fuck, Emily's there." And he says, "I'm finally in this thing." And she says, the system's long gone. She leads him in there and doesn't know how long he's been there and does the whole thing, checking his fidelity. And is the Man in Black a host? This one is this in the future? We don't know. You'll have to see in part 3, season 3, which is coming in 2020. Then they had a Back to the Future kind of thing where they stopped and there was a trailer that said, coming in 2020, the next season. Holy shit. What did I smoke today? I didn't smoke enough of anything. Holy shit. Seriously, there's some crazy thunder all of a sudden going on. Tom himself says, gave this episode 9 out of 10. I'm going to shut the camera off in a second, and then I'm going to smoke a little something now. Eat a little something now. And we're going to listen to, we got 2 voicemails and a text message. Let's get to that stuff right now. First voicemail that we're going to play is from the always awesome Broke Black Man 94. Let's play his message. And go.
Yo, Phil. Broke Black Man 94 here. Like, god damn it, that episode, not gonna lie. That was like, of all Westworld episodes, that was the most mind-fucking of them all. Especially that after fucking credits scene. Like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to say freaking the Man in Black. I don't even want to talk about him anymore, because his whole freaking thing was a damn trip. It was confusing. Oh my, let me just talk about something else that's like less confusing though, but still pissed me off how they freaking killed LC. Like, damn it. Why did she have to like expose, like, hell, I know everything, Charlotte. Like, if they were gonna freaking kill Stubbs, I said this before, like, her days are numbered and goddamn they killed her. But hey, Charlotte was in fact a human this whole goddamn time, but that was a freaking version of Dolores, though, just disguised as Charlotte. So if anyone is going to come at me by saying, broke, you lost the bet, you got a cell phone, goes, no. I'll fucking debate you against that, though. But still, that was a freaking excellent episode. Possibly better than that.
Oh, holy shit. We got a super chat donation from Big Kev. He does not smoke. He likes sandwiches. And yo, Jenny, great to see you. Feels too afraid. No, I don't. It's not about that. It's more about it's always funnier to do it off cam. And I have, if you freeze frame a lot, I've definitely eaten a sandwich. And Big Kev's right. I'm just eating sandwiches.
Episode 4, I gotta say that it's possibly better than episode 4. Damn it! Like, hit you with the feels when it needs to. It was good stuff. I cannot wait for season 3. It's like, how was season 3 gonna top this? Like, season 2, it did top. It's like, oh, season 2, oh my gosh. And just thinking about what the fuck they're gonna do for season 3, I just can't. I gotta collect myself. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Later.
Broke. Great shit. The only thing I'm going to add to that is with her saying that to Hale, I mentioned it in the recap, it's almost like a Ned Stark moment from season 1. It's just that when you have that information, don't say it. Don't say it. There's no need. No need if you're going to be in a better position, not like in a moment of heat like that. So Broke, good stuff. Let's listen to Preston and Alabama's, and then we have a text message. If anyone wants to get any last minute texts or voicemail in, now is the time. 781-990-8509.
Hello, Phil. Hello, Senator. I'm a little drunk right now, honestly. However, I must say, I have basically been predicting the end of season 2 since the beginning of season 2, which is basically that all of this is preordained. But I really, 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 really did not expect for frickin' Delores / Wyatt, which I call Delight, to end up being fucking Charlotte Hale. Because what the fuck? How was I supposed to predict that? I think that even though I predicted pretty much everything else, that this was all preordained by Ford, I could never have expected for Delight to actually be Charlotte Hale. How did we get here? It's so smart, and it makes all the sense. But, you know, I wasn't expecting us to end up here. Phil, I think you are brilliant, and I love the podcast, and I listen to it even when I don't participate. But, goddamn. Charlotte, Dolores? Is that what we're going to call it from now on?
Miles says...
How do we deal with the fucking shit? I don't know, man.
Good voice.
But,
Good voice mail, buddy. Lots of fun stuff.
Doing it to it.
Holy shit, lots of fun stuff. A VR simulation, that's what we did. Who ain't drunk here? Great call from Preston. I had added the music right there as well. Holy shit. It landed on drink for you, Big Kev, so I have to take a drink. We got holy shit, we got another super chat donation, $5 from the VF Warlord. Thank you so much, VF Warlord, who is just took over the stream boss, who won, destroyed, finally took over for French Canadian Jason. Welcome. Congratulations. It is a podcast, Miles. That could if that isn't a thing, I'm copyright podcast. Does Phil show boobs when I'm drunk? Mike, it doesn't take a lot. Actually, to be quite honest, if you wanted to see that, it would almost be like looking at that Austin Powers movie when he first takes off his shirt. It's all, when I go to public pools, I tend to wear, because I don't want to scare people with the forest. Too much information. But the voice of reason. Did you win something? Podcast? Holy shit, VF. I have to do 10 push-ups. What is that? Is that real? Do I really have to do 10 push-ups right now? I think I do. Let's play the song. Play the push-up song.
Lines up in my face. People are distracting me, messing with my pace. The back of the girl in front of me seems like she's waiting for me to be with me. Tight line of noise, creatively, silently standing there with poise. Spent today in a flame. Did I know which bitch to blame? It's a shame
Okay. So 10 push-ups done. Thank you so much for the super chat donation to all of our super chatters tonight. You guys are fucking amazing. Oh yeah, I'm here. It's crazy. And so yes, the podcast 2018, all rights reserved. Faith No More is better than Red Hot Chili Peppers. Face it. Mr. Bungle is better than the Chili Peppers. And early Chili Peppers. It's two different bands. You talking about the poser peppers, the emo peppers, or you talking about real like Mother's Milk, freaky style, uplift, mofo, party plan, Chili Peppers? It's two different bands. Many different bands. So, like, by the way, are we talking about I Want to Party in Your Pussy, you Chili Peppers? Like, two completely different bands. Anyways, enough of that shit. We got one more text message, and then we're going to call this a live stream. This is from area code 347. Listen. I'm really unhappy with the outcome of the Men in Black storyline. There was so much character development for him this season, particularly in the episode 9, and I feel like they didn't capitalize on any of that. Like, why did Dolores even bother to have him accompany her to the valley beyond? What was the point? Holy shit. And I feel like there is no point in Ford having him go through the door. I feel like there was no point of any of it. And he seems to have no remorse over killing his daughter. And are we to understand that he doesn't become a host till later on down the line now? Anyways, just tuned into your show, so I'm hoping you do see this text. I'm laying in bed, so the easiest way for me to communicate. Hope I'm making sense. You are making sense. I'm a huge fan of Westworld, but this episode had me feeling a little betrayed in this way. I'm not happy with a lot of tonight's outcome. And what's the deal with Stubbs? He's a host now, too. What's the point of that? Is everyone a host? I'm just going to add that, too. Is everyone a host? Very good message. And the only thing I can say is it seems like they set up a lot of the Men in Black stuff to just lead into a continuing storyline over next year. And I think if there's any storyline that's going to probably be dragged over 5 seasons, it's William's storyline to keep Ed Harris on the show. So I think it's maybe a little clunkily obvious with that, because I agree, the Men in Black becomes very much more of a red herring character. Communism's just a red herring. It becomes a little bit of a red herring character towards the end of this season. And the endgame stuff don't have a lot to do with him. So I can understand your frustration. Excuse me. And to finish off all the storylines, they maybe didn't service all of them completely well. And some of them they did, push on to the next season. Sounds like the texter didn't watch the after credit scenes. What's the fucking point, Phil? Narrative clutch? Tom, I'm very unhappy too. I'm out of vodka. My life is over. Phil 19. Elaborate, Phil, for 20 minutes. Mr. Bonghole. Miles is fitting right in. Miles Prower is like, oh god, this is too easy. It's like shooting pot in a barrel or something. we got room for many more. But everybody, this has been an awesome night. Thank you so much. I only intended on coming out here for an hour, and now it's 3+ hours. So it's always a lot of fun to get to talk to you guys. You guys in the live chat make this show fun for me, especially on nights that I don't necessarily have Joe to co-host something with me, or David, or any of the other crew of usual suspects. And Westworld's one of those shows that it's good to be able to just babble to you guys. And as you know, I like to have at least a couple of podcasts where it's just me. So it's been a fun season to be able to talk to you guys for at least 8 of the 10 episodes. I know I missed 2 due to vacation. So, see, I'm a slacker. It's fucking the whole family's slackers. But it's been a fun season. I do appreciate it, and appreciate all you guys' support. And we will be back again next year to talk more Westworld. Upcoming on the channel, July, I'll be doing a bunch of Game of Thrones stuff, a lot of other random shows and stuff as they come up. Glow's coming back on Netflix. I'll be talking about that show. We'll also be talking about doing a couple of request videos coming up soon as well. In August, the show Better Call Saul comes back, and Joe and I will be recapping that. And then September, a lot more fun, and we get The Walking Dead, then eventually more Game of Thrones. So lots more stuff coming on the channel, coming all over the channel or in the podcast. So if you're subscribed to the podcast and you enjoyed our season of Westworld, please give us some iTunes ratings and comments and shit. Be like, even if you say really obscure weird things, just doing that helps spread the word. So get it up there. And if you've watched this video and you enjoyed it this far and you like it, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, and share the channel with a friend and help us keep spreading like the disease I am. Spread this shit. But you guys are fucking amazing. Lola, you're amazing. Phil, we need you. We need you. That's bogus, dude. Dude, totally bogus, man. Like, dude. Excellent. We will definitely be talking about Bill and Ted 3. I mean, that's a definite. And we've got, I don't know, totally out of context joke that would cause me to do this. Oh my goodness. My Little Pony recap coming this Friday. No, Joe and I will be back on Friday. I think the next 3 days are hectic as fuck. I'm going to be working. So I may be back sometime in the mix, but most likely I will not be back until Friday with Joe, Friday afternoon. We'll be doing a podcast on Euron Greyjoy. And then after that, it's the holiday week, but maybe I'll do a handy stream from a family party or something. Babble about some shit with my cousins. They're always fun for some good conversation. And they'll all be in one place at the party on the 3rd. So maybe I'll do a handheld. Maybe I'll hand myself. Walk home. I want to say a special thank you to all of our patrons. You guys are amazing. That help us out every month. To our Super Chat donators, you guys are amazing too. Miles, Uncle D, Mike, Tom himself, Lola. Lola, it's so wonderful to see you in the live chat. Big Kev, VF Warlord, Jenny, you sure are a smart lady. Gone. Anyone else that was in here earlier? Bernie the Burnt, Steph Snow. I saw Justin in here earlier. Broke Blackman 94. All you guys are fucking amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody. It's enough thanks. I'm an asshole. I thank you too much. I don't thank you enough. Oh no. What's going on? There's a swollen pecker? Oh no. It's over. Who's Joe? Someone says who Joe is. Joe is my my actual co-host. He is he can't always make it to every show, but he's been on a lot of the podcasts with me as my main co-host. So Joe is a curmudgeon. You can check it out. He was on the last review that we did, a review on Cheers. He was also on a podcast we did about Rick Grimes leaving The Walking Dead a couple weeks ago as well. But Joe works a lot, and sometimes it's not easy to connect with him. I did, Miles. I love the name Miles. You should end reading jokes about Joe is God. Joe is the coolest co-host. Joe Hungry Cox. Joe is Wayne with curly hair. Dude. Yeah, Joe's my Garth, basically. He's my Garth. I'm Wayne too. I am Wayne. That's a good comparison. We're more Wayne and Garth than Bill and Ted, even though I like Bill and Ted better, but I would say as a podcasting or a radio or whatever the hell you want to call it, a show team where it's more a Wayne and Garth thing. But he's like angry Garth. Like if Garth was aggressive, like really Argo, he'd be that'd be Joe. Joe is extra crazy. Yes, he is. I almost feel like I have to play a Joe rant right now, like before I go, just to like, no. But sorry everybody. I'll talk to you guys next time and later.